Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marati.
And I'm JTG, aka Jay the God.
AKA the Human Shopping Channel come to life. A brand new Wrestling Insiders Weekend Review begins now. Wrestling fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause. Now, let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, welcome to the Saturday, November 27th edition of Wrestling Insiders Weekend Review. I'm Dan Marati here at MWF Studios, downtown Melrose, Massachusetts, in the zip code of Champion 02176, hours removed from a wild Black Friday in New York, the Big Apple. What a place to be. Different story for a different time. But here on Wrestling Insiders Weekend Review, we bring you all of our original, fresh talk shows from this past week, including our Monday Night Mission on Monday nights after Raw with the guiding light of the 1994 WWF Tag Team Champions Men on a Mission. I could only be talking about Oscar. We have a female, which is very rare for us here in the studio, that being three-time WWE Women's Champion and Hall of Famer Alundra Blayze. We have a very somber Marty Jannetty talking about Thanksgivings and holidays and growing up the way he did, unexpectedly, with Marty Jannetty. And then we round out the week with the dad of Boston Wrestling MWF. I could only be talking about the one, the only, Mr. John Cena Sr. So another jam-packed episode. We had a New Jack Marathon this week where we ran out of original ECW Extreme content. We're trying to get Just Incredible back into the studio ASAP. More on that to come. Along with Justin's return, we also have the active Indiegogo campaign where we're trying to keep Marty Jannetty's Party with Marty show rocking each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after Impact on AXS TV. Along with that, fans, if you didn't hear the news, it is unfortunate. This Tuesday night, we were supposed to be headed to Tampa for our Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks initiative for the toy drive, and someone with no class, no character, no integrity, no manhood, and birdseed-sized teeth decided to back out of that commitment, burning thousands and thousands of dollars in Boston wrestling income that we really didn't have to waste with this charity endeavor. We want to send along our sincere apologies to Jerry Briscoe, Native American Tatanka, Bushwhacker Luke, and Dutch Mantel, who we were very much looking forward to seeing, but it requires us to take 6 caseloads of video equipment down to Florida. That means we need 3 people, and when one backed out and then his partner in crime went along with him, it was virtually impossible to try and save that late into the effort. So again, we apologize greatly. We're trying to come up with some ideas here in studio to try and save the drive with what little we have left after the money that was flushed down the toilet. We are very happy to announce that the wild and unpredictable berserker, John Nord, will make his studio debut Saturday, December the 11th, and Saturday, December the 12th. That's going to be a lot of fun. Never know what to expect from that guy. We were disappointed. His dad passed away, and he wasn't able to be with us back on November the 13th at our 20th anniversary event. But nonetheless, we're going to kick off the show with Oscar from Men on a Mission. We're going to go straight through to the end, and I'll be by to say goodnight to you. Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, it was a wild weekend in Brooklyn, New York. Survivor Series and WWE Monday Night Raw have come to an end. You know what that means. It's 11 p.m. It's Monday night. There's only one person we could be joined with here on Wrestling Insiders here at downtown Melrose, Massachusetts, the zip code of champions. We're talking about the man that was the guiding light to the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championship in 1994. The man that nearly blew the roof off of the Barclays Center's older brother, Madison Square Garden, from coast to coast around the world. The man on a mission himself, OSCAR, a man with a big day tomorrow. We're talking about Oscar. Oscar, a pleasure to have you with us as always. Disappointing that we're not in studio like we were last week because us two cats had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we did have a lot of fun. And just to set the record straight, I don't know if I blew the roof off the place, but I did a pretty good damn job at the Barclays Center after a Brooklyn Nets game. Bruce Pritchard and Conrad had their show at the Barclays Center, and I was there, and I opened it up, and we had a rip-roaring time from start to finish.
Bruce and Conrad did their show at the Barclays Center?
They did their show at the Barclays Center. I was in the house, and a part of that.
Whereabouts? They couldn't have had it in the main arena.
No, they didn't have it in the main arena. They had it in one of the one of the conference rooms.
Oh, I didn't know that. Then they didn't invite me down, huh?
That was there, and it was a really, 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 really good time.
I was good enough to open in Boston and in Phoenix, but not in Brooklyn. All right, I know where I stand. But I'm not the guiding light to the WWF Tag Team Championship, so they needed you more than me.
We had excellent seats for the game. After the game, security came and got us and escorted us like we were superstars.
Wow!
And we went back into the conference room, and we had a really good show.
Well, I tell you, I had a lot of fun opening up those shows with Bruce. I know you were there for at least the one at the House of Blues.
I did like 7 of them.
So, it was like you were part of the show. I love it.
Yeah, I did. To record, I did like 7 of them.
Well, you know what? Coast to coast, globe to globe, around the globe, I should say. I'm a tired man, Oscar. I still haven't 8 to 9 days after the fact. I still haven't recovered from our extravaganza at Memorial Hall in Melrose.
Oh yeah, that's the first thing we're gonna revisit and talk about that some more because I didn't get into. We talked about it.
We scratched the surface last week, so to speak.
I didn't get into. First off, I want to know how it was for you because I had told one of your guys that I was going to come over there to see you, and you sent the text back going, no, like you was a fan of the damn opera. No, nobody can see me like this. I don't want nobody coming over here and tell Oscar I love him, but no. So what the hell was going on?
It was one of the worst experiences of my life. It was one of the most frustrating. Worst as in just the great disappointment that went along with it, the frustration, the disrespect, as a result of bullying and harassment that has gone on for the better part of 13 years. I think it's pathetic that City Hall's response has been what it is, which is basically to either ignore it or try and, like I said, you ask them what color is the sky, and they tell you the grass is green. But you know, I before I go into my swan song, I certainly want to thank all of the great help that made the event come to life. Chairman Manolian, Charles Wilson, my gosh, all the video production people, Howard Mello, Walter Hillside.
You had some good people. Not to sound mean, we didn't need you. No,
well, to be honest, that at one point when we realized what the reality of the situation is going to be, you know, we kind of looked at it as, instead of me being upstairs doing the busy work that I do, I was 2 blocks down the street. So it was manageable. Was it easy? No, it wasn't easy. It wasn't fun. You know, it took the life out of the event for me, but I have a lot of resentment, a lot of anger. I'm still at odds with City Hall. I have dealt with some of the most useless people known to mankind. We have a mayor whose sister-in-law runs the venue. Like I said, who's just a vindictive bully.
I'm sure I didn't even go up to her to say hello, but I did see Piggott.
You saw Piggott.
I saw Piggott.
Did you start to hum the Facts of Life theme song?
No, I ain't play with her at all. But
did you think it was Edna Garrett, Charlotte Ray?
You know what? To be honest, I didn't get up that close to her to identify her like that. I didn't want to. Because I know me.
Marty said she was a little flirty with him.
That might have been true.
You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and then you have the facts of life.
What I did was on the early show, I kind of took the reins a little bit as the vice president.
Good.
I didn't micromanage nothing or nothing like that, but I did, start to question, why the show wasn't going on time, and I gave a little pep talk to the boys in the back, told them to be safe and take care of each other, and all that kind of thing like that. And like I said, I didn't step on nobody's toes, but I tried to do something to make sure everything stayed on track.
Well, there's so many stories that can be told on my end. As you know, there's a little mini documentary in the works. We started the first half of it, the before. We still haven't taped the after of yet because I'm still swamped from the moment my day begins to the moment my day ends trying to wrap up this event, which again, the reasons why I'll get more into in that video, because I want people to truly, if they're interested, to truly understand how much time and effort and work really goes into putting an event like this together, especially where, it's not a WWE corporate event. It doesn't have huge financial backing. It doesn't have, a great number of employees. Like I said, we have some of the great help that I mentioned. We have people like Dave Carter, Teddy Piantapapalupagapis, who came up from Florida. A couple of our number one assassins were missing for a couple of reasons due to life. So it wasn't easy, but again, we pulled it off because one thing we've always had is great people. And, I always try and go out of my way to thank those people. Maybe it's because when I started in wrestling, I wasn't in this position. I was one of those people. When I worked for Tony Rumble, I started off in video production for a little bit. And then when Tony realized, not that I didn't care about video production, but I had an aptitude and an interest in wrestling. As a high school kid, I was ringing the bell. I was posting the lineup sheet to the wall. I was writing it out for him as he would tell me the matches. Things like that I would have paid him to do. When I was in the 9th grade. But for all the people that have to do the quote-unquote grunt work, which is everything besides step into the squared circle and make the magic happen for the fans, without a great support staff, you're not going to have an enjoyable experience, or maybe as enjoyable of an experience. So you always need to show gratitude and appreciation to those people, especially the help that understood the plight that we were in. Trying to deal with that venue. We always have Eric and his partner in crime and life, Kristen. They're a big help. The thing is, I hate to start naming names because then I start to forget people, but I know Dave, the intern, was there. Jackie the Joke Man was helping out. The John C. Riley of Boston Wrestling, an individual we're going to get into in a little bit because I'm on fire about it, Oscar, as our toy drive is now in peril and near ruin. See, I wasn't even there, so I can't even remember. Well, it's hard. I can't even remember half of the people.
I'll give you some good news.
All right, give me some good news, baby.
I had some frustration because I took a huge loss financially coming to the event. I mean, I got what I got, but between the airfare, the hotel, the other logistics, but it all turned out okay, and I'm gonna tell you why. The best part about it for me was the Q&A session, because I go to a lot of events where I meet people that I know me, but I didn't work with them. The Q&A session was jam-packed, and everybody on it were people that I ran with and worked with, during my tenure in the 90s. Mm-hmm. And we got up there and we answered questions but we were joking back and forth. We had inside jokes. We had special stories that we all shared because we all shared the same experiences. And it was a fantastic family reunion with Marty and with Doink. Doink helped train me.
Did he?
Sometime and Medusa
Yeah.
and Bushwhacker Luke, who I shared the stage with in Boston at the Garden.
That's right. It's Survivor Series '93. Yep.
Series.
Yep.
And it was just a really, really, really great time. We were all glad to see each other, and everybody was kind of tearing up because of so many suicides and deaths. You are grateful and thankful about the people that are still alive that you know and loved back then, and you still love today, and you got to see each other one more time. That was beautiful.
Well, as I've noted before, look at the original incarnation of this event when it was supposed to be more '90s themed.
The
both
80s theme. Yeah, it was going to be back to the 80s at first.
Both Road Warrior Animal and Paul Orndorff are no longer with us. We'll never be
Right.
able to enjoy their company again, hear their stories, get a picture, get a photo, an autograph for the fans. For us on our end that are in the Brotherhood, when I think of Paul, I get a little misty-eyed because, he was here at the studio. We did some tremendous interviews that are available on the Boston Wrestling Patreon. And Road Warrior Animal, he was interested in starting a series in studio of his own with us. We were going to test the waters with that. We had Joe in for appearances years ago, too. Joe was a very blunt man, a very upfront man. And that's refreshing sometimes. Some people don't like that. Some people do. But I mean, if you treated the man with respect and you lived up to your word, you had a man that would do anything to try and make your event the best it could be for the fans in attendance. And great amount of respect for Road Warrior Animal. And I thought the tribute that was done to all of the legends that we've lost was very nice, especially with a shout out to, even with this incarnation of the '90s event. Look at what we had to deal with. You had Hacksaw Jim Duggan have prostate cancer surgery. You had the Berserker's dad die. You had a Slick in a situation where, quote unquote, agents put him in a situation where he couldn't be with us. We had Duke the Dumpster Drosy messaging me at 4 a.m. That he wasn't sure if he could make the event because he had to be rushed to the emergency room for a health issue. So, I mean, it was just, I thank you for stepping up to the plate and helping last minute because before the Duke Drosy situation even happened, we were desperate. So, I mean, man, it shows that anything and everything can happen with these events. I think maybe years from now, maybe we might chuckle at a couple of things or, but, there's a lot of sore subjects right now, even, with some of the talent. I can, me, I shoot from the hip. And last Monday, I shot from the hip with some dear friends down in the 352 area code in Stamford, Connecticut. I thought we had two difficult challenges on that roster that I found unacceptable. But again, I'll probably share the in-depth version of that for that little mini documentary. But even tonight, earlier tonight at 7:30, when I made those announcements about the toy drive and everything, I'm mentally and physically exhausted. It's one of those times where I say, you know what, I really don't want to do this anymore. But I do want to do it because I love it. I love the people involved. I know I have a lot to contribute. I just wish I was able to do it for Vince and maybe do this on the side. You know what I mean?
Right.
But for those that missed the bad news, WrestleHouse 2 has imploded. We have literally lit a couple of $1,000s on fire. I know, Oscar, it's a sore subject for you, as you've been a big part of the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive going back to 2014 since you joined the organization. Captain Lou Data and his partner in crime, his partner in crime is a good man, but they're more of a package deal. But Captain Lou decided to back out at the last minute. He said it wouldn't help his media company, an individual that has never been trained, has no education in the world of media.
Wait, Captain Lou Data, the kid I met?
Yes. Lou
What's his problem?
He said him doing the Wrestle House in Tampa, it wouldn't benefit his media company that he's starting. Someone that has no experience, that needs all the experience in the world, who should practically be begging to be able to take part in an endeavor like Wrestle House 2. It's pathetic. It's low. It's scummy. It lacks character. It lacks integrity. Because one thing you and I both know, and even though he's not a wrestling guy, he's a video production guy. In our industry, when you give your word, you give your damn word.
Right.
And now, again, a house that was rented, they're not going to refund that. Airline tickets, they're not going to refund that. I'm trying to see if there's any way that the car can be salvaged. You have talent.
Wait. I'm missing something. Why we can't go?
Because for us to be able to do it, we need to be able to get 6 cases of video equipment down to Florida. And we have to use Southwest because they give you the 2 free bags. So if I went myself, I could bring 2.
I got you.
So it just, there's no way. I mean, I spent a day and a half going insane trying to turn over every stone I could to see if there was any way, but I can't physically get 6 cases of video equipment down to Florida myself.
My question is, out of all the crew, there's nobody else that could take his place?
Well, think about how much it would cost to get an airline ticket at this point. You're talking about, you're probably looking at another $600-700.
Wait, when is it?
A week from tomorrow.
What date is that?
The 30th.
The 30th to the what? Coming back when?
I think we were coming back the 6th.
The 30th to the 6th.
Well, anyway, it led to, the talent being disappointed. They may have had some of that time off earmarked for other things, and just a really miserable, angry situation all around. Maybe there's a little positive news to come with it. We're hoping, where Marty was such a gem at the Back to the 90s show, if we could have that Marty in the studio every time, instead of some of the incidents that, we're not going to get into, but people, I'm sure, are familiar with what they are. If we can get the Marty that we had at Memorial Hall, that's a great thing. And I guess if any positive with all the crazy that's gone on over the past year and a half or whatever it may be, we have, airline credits under some of these guys galore. So we're hoping to get Marty in early December and put his credits to use. And then,
okay,
what do you got, kid? What do you got?
It's only going to be $300. Okay, it's $182 round trip on Spirit.
No, but we have to fly Southwest, or we have to pay for all the cases of video equipment.
Oh, okay.
If it was just trying to get people there, okay, you could be maybe a little bit more creative, but it's trying to take all the equipment. When we did it when we were in Tampa for WrestleMania week, it was trying to get all of that down there was a challenge.
Amtrak is not an option?
I would say Amtrak would take a little too long, Oscar. I could only be gone for so long.
No, you just have to leave a day earlier. It takes a day.
No, it's just, you know what? It is what it is for 2021, unfortunately. We're working on Marty. We're working on Just Incredible because we need episodes of the Wrestling Insider's Extreme program on Tuesday nights. Right. And announced earlier tonight, one thing that makes me kind of happy is we're going to have a first-time guest with us that was going to be with us at Wrestle House. Not Wrestle House, the Back to the 90s reunion. We're going to put the airfare to use for the Berserker John Nord, who's coming in for a song, which is nice. He's going to try and tape episodes for a couple of days. He is, let me tell you, if you guys enjoy laughing along, let me tell you, I have high expectations for the show with the Berserker. He realized we were really crushed by what happened. So he's really, 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 bending in order to do this. And then we put those lost flight tickets to you. So
All right,
at least
well,
something's
I'm
better
gonna
than
tell you
nothing,
what.
but we don't have much.
I'm gonna tell you what.
What do you got, baby?
If it's before the Christmas rush, I'll come in for one show since you got the airfare.
Huh. You know, let's see what we can do. I'd love to have you in studio again because, and I don't have to worry about you flying in cases of video equipment. I don't think. You know what? Hey, that really might help. We are working on, and you know what? Maybe it might work out best. I don't want to, because I don't know all the specifics yet. We're still trying to work out the fine details, but we're working on a live, almost like a Christmas, the weekend before Christmas, a live special where we do the pallbearer cyber raffle, like the big raffle that we had at Memorial Hall, and maybe do a watch along, maybe have some guests down at the studio. Maybe that would be a cool time to have you in, maybe a day or two around then.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's see if we can figure it out. Yeah, I get, obviously I don't have a computer in front of me, but you know, that might be really, 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 really cool. And maybe give the fans, maybe tape a couple of episodes for the in studio as opposed to, not that they don't love us this way, but we received, I'll tell you, I don't know if you watched the premiere of our episode last Monday night at 11, but we received so many compliments about you being in studio. The fans really liked it. So.
No, well, good. And I thank the fans for liking it. I mean, I thank y'all for watching. Don't think it doesn't go unnoticed or I take it lightly. I'm really appreciative of you guys supporting me, you know, supporting the Men on the Mission legacy and supporting the MWF as a whole. So, you know, thank you guys. And, you know, I'm sorry. We are all sorry that we have such logistical problems, but everything can't run smooth all the time. But thank you and just hang in there with us because the best is yet to come. 2022 is going to be amazing.
We are trying like you couldn't believe. Again, there's still venues I'm trying to rebook from 2022. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My God. There's a venue that we rented out in Somerville that has our money, and they lost their physical building. They're still trying to recover from that. We had a summer camp show. We had an event. We had a venue in Maine that we were going to be working with. We had a show in New York lined up over the summertime. I mean, and to lose all that and still not have it resolved yet, it's just more exhaustion. Trying to work out everything for the big event, marquee event, MWF Soul Survivor 10, which is Soul Survivors provided so many great memories. Saturday night, April the 16th at Memorial Hall in Melrose. When we go back to the 80s, that's going to take a lot of work. Talk shows 7 nights a week take a lot of work. I don't think the fans truly understand or appreciate that as they watch it. But a labor of love, I guess. It's nice when I love it, but when it gets to the point I hate it, yeah, that's a different story for a different time, I guess. But to see Paul, I guess at the end of the day, to see not only a toy drive to help kids, to update Santa Claus's GPS to find every kid's house, in case we have some youngsters listening, you know, to have that pissed on by someone, again, that they can't keep their word, has no morals, no character, no integrity. I'd like to spit in his face, to be honest with you. I'm very angry about it. I know John Cena Sr. would probably be telling me, you know, oh, you got to calm down. It's not right to be so angry. You know, I got the devil on one shoulder and I got John Cena Sr. on the other shoulder trying to guide me. I got the cross around my neck. But you know what? What's the phrase, an eye for an eye? I truly believe in that, too. There was no reason for any of this to happen. If he chose after the fact to say, you know what? Okay, maybe this isn't going to help my media company, I would have had respect for him. But to do it before this took place, after saying, we're in, and to spend all that money on absolutely nothing, I am infuriated. To have these talents that were booked let down, even though they lived in Tampa, it's not like they were flying across the country or anything, but that has me infuriated. For the toy drive to be disrupted, that has me infuriated. And if he got hit by a bus and died, I really wouldn't care, to be quite honest.
You know, John Cena Sr., I love that guy, and for some reason, that guy loved me. I don't
He
even
does
know.
love you.
I'm shocked that he even know who I am because I never met him until.
Well, you are the vice president after all.
Now,
Maybe he's doing a little ass kissing.
No, he remembers. No, he remembers. He remembers my career, and I'm impressed by that. No, we always talk. We talked last weekend.
Well, he's very astute. What a lot of fans don't realize is they think, oh, he was just around because he was John Cena's dad, and maybe that was true in 2007. But if you go back to the mid '70s, before he became a dad, he was helping promote spot shows for the WWWF up here in Massachusetts with Vince McMahon Sr. So you know what? To say that his wrestling life has been limited to things he did after his son became a WWE superstar is incorrect.
Right.
He's had quite the career, a very interesting guy. Geez, I only wish Johnny someday, in some format, would share his whole story because he's had such a very interesting life. Him and I have, we've battled. People have seen it firsthand. We've gone at it physically, verbally, behind the scenes, on camera. But there is also just an interesting, maybe bond is the way to put it. He is like a father figure to everybody here with what we do. And that's why I kind of like how his talk show wraps up the week. You know what I mean? It's like after, whether you have comedy, craziness, tears of joy, tears of sadness during the rest of the week, on Friday nights, you got John Cena Sr. to tie it all together and make almost like a dad figure on a sitcom and make everything all right again. I don't know. One man's opinion, as they say. But a lot going on in the world of wrestling, folks. I'm getting the cue from the back, certainly not from that piece of garbage, Lou Data. We're going to take a brief time out. We'll be back with more of the Monday Night Mission here on Wrestling Insiders. Stand by. Wrestling fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause. Now, let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night. All right, wrestling fans, welcome back to this one-day plus posted Survivor Series edition of Wrestling Insiders. Dan Marotti here with your host, the man on a mission himself, Oscar. Oscar, tomorrow is a very big day in your world. Are you getting a little nervous at this point?
I'm not getting nervous at all because, let me explain this real quick. I didn't make the music for accolades. I didn't make it for a Grammy or nothing like that. I wasn't even thinking about that. I didn't think about it until it started happening. Mm-hmm. So, it's exciting, but you got to get at the point where if it happened, it happened. If it don't, it don't. You just keep on doing what you're doing. I mean, I'm gonna deal with it either way. I'm just, I wasn't in it for that. So,
well, to interrupt you, for the fans that don't know what's going on, explain to them what tomorrow is.
Tomorrow is the day where you find out who's nominated for the Grammys. One of my songs, Socrates Cafe, is on a short list. Of that list of people who may get nominated, may or may not. I'm on the list of the nominees for the nominees. So tomorrow, when the show airs, and they name the Grammy nominations for 2021, I might be one of those people.
Where is the nomination announcement? Is it broadcast somewhere where people can access it on TV or online? Or how do you find out?
I'm a little confused by that.
Oh.
I don't know whether or not it's going to be on CBS. I don't know whether it's online. I mean, you guys got to do some research. They sent me a link to watch it online. They did do that. But I'm not sure whether it's on mainstream TV or not.
I got you. Well, I'm anxious to see what happens. I think either way, you should be extremely proud of yourself to get back into the rap game after taking a little time off. And now you have a song that is in consideration to be nominated for a Grammy Award. I think that is outstanding.
Well, I appreciate that. No, I don't. No, don't get me wrong by my comments. I don't take it lightly at all. I mean, I'm literally shocked by it. But I was taught a long time ago, don't get excited about the chicken if the chef ain't cooked yet. So let's see what happens.
Well, I'm sure the president of the Boston Wrestling MWF, Dr. David Reese, is excited. Maybe
he ain't excited nothing. That punk ain't called me yet. I ain't studying Dr. Reese right now.
You're a little upset with the president?
Yeah, I'm upset. I call him. I was calling him to share with him the last block of calls that I made, calling to share with him, all the things that happened last Saturday that he missed. He ain't answered the phone yet. He ain't called back yet. He did send me this long email that said, I'm busy. Oh, I mean, you the president. Oh, you the AEW guy. No, not for real. I'm just playing. But yeah, I get a little perturbed by him. He can pick up the phone for a minute.
Well, like you said, he is a very, very busy man, but I think almost like Santa Claus, he knows all and he sees all. But maybe just communicating with him is the tough part. I don't know. I don't know a lot these days. I'm still, like I said, physically and mentally just beaten down from last week. But did you have a chance to see Survivor Series last night, Oscar?
I did, for a rare time, I did get to see a pay-per-view. I got on my big chair and got some chips and a sandwich.
Now, what kind of sandwich was it?
I got it, what are the Firehouse Subs, the Hook and Ladder.
A Hook and Ladder, that was the name of the sub?
Yeah, it had ham, turkey, roast beef, everything on there.
You like your sub?
Yeah, I got a nice big sandwich from Firehouse Subs, and I watched it from start to finish, and it wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't the best pay-per-view I ever saw, but it wasn't bad. And I was wondering throughout the whole thing, I said, okay, the Big E, Roman Reigns, who they gonna put over? Okay, and then they gave it away. They gave it away.
What do you mean?
They said Brock Lesnar's suspension was up. That gave it away right there. I'm gonna tell you how. Brock Lesnar's suspension is up, so that means he's gonna have a marquee match. Now, who is he gonna have that marquee match against? Roman Reigns or Big E? No brainer. He's not gonna have a marquee match against Big E. Nobody would care about that. So it had to be Roman Reigns. So Roman Reigns got a marquee match coming up, or a couple of them, I might add, then he's the one that had to go over.
Well, I mean, there were no titles on the line in any of those matches, so in theory, he still could have lost. But where WWE is already starting to hype that Lesnar is going to be live in Los Angeles December the 10th for SmackDown, it would make you think they'd want Roman as hot as possible. And I also think, to me, the giveaway was, Raw won every single match on the pay-per-view except for the final match. And you knew they weren't going to have a clean sweep. So, I mean, anyone that thought Big E was going to come away with the W last night, sorry they were disappointed, but it wasn't happening. I think, again, if you kept the title on Bobby Lashley, what a dynamic you would have had for Survivor Series with Lashley against Roman as opposed to a guy that's been used as a comical joke for 10 years.
That would have been much better.
And I think you would have had the element of, geez, Lashley really could win this.
Yep.
I don't think anyone thought, geez, Big E is going to win this. I don't see anyone looking at it logically that could say, geez, Big E, he could win. He's been treated as a joke. So
yeah,
I don't know how much more I can add than that, but I had zero expectation that Big E would win. I'll say this, I thought it was one of Big E's better singles matches. I thought it was a good match. I just, I felt like it was like Batman. I knew the ending to the movie before it even began.
Yeah, no, he did a good job. I hand him that. But
he worked his ass off. I'll give him all the credit in the world. And, I think the problem isn't exactly Big E. It was Big E presented as a goof. If you present someone as an idiot for years, how are you going to take them seriously? It'd be like Kevin Hart turning into a... yeah, exactly. You're not going to take that seriously. Kevin Hart it's a perfect example. He's almost like the New Day are almost like the Kevin Harts of WWE. They're great at what they do with their fun and their comedy. They're usually lighthearted. And I also think that's why, as much as I love Kofi, I think he's a great human being. I think he's one of the finest athletes to ever step foot in a WWE ring. But I think at the end of the day, even though the fans online wanted it, his championship run wasn't a success, That was the WrestleMania where they listened to the fans. They gave them Becky as champion. They had Rollins go over on Brock Lesnar. They had Kofi beat Daniel Bryan. And business went down the tubes. They were canceling house shows left and right.
Right.
So sometimes you can't always go by what the internet says. And I think maybe they learned that lesson at WrestleMania, or after WrestleMania 35, I should say. But I don't know. Again, with the roster cuts they've had, I think you could have more impressive world champions right now that aren't with the company than are in the company. Would Strowman be a more credible world champion than Big E? Would The Fiend be a more credible world champion than Big E? I think that kind of answers itself.
Yeah, now, speaking of that, what do you think of this round of cuts? It's some things that oh, wait a minute. Where was Dewdrop last night? She wasn't in nothing?
Dewdrop wasn't part of the Raw team.
Yeah.
She's apparently is going to be attached at the hip with Bianca Belair for a little bit in some matches that I think will largely be forgettable, but that's just one man's opinion. Again, look at some of the people they cut. My God, you talk about, John Morrison? I think his entire return was a waste of time. Again, they brought him back, and instead of treating him as someone serious, I don't know, could Morrison be a main eventer at this point? I don't think so. Is he someone that could be in TV main events to build up the big stars for the pay-per-views? Absolutely. I could see him as a credible TV main eventer. He's still one of the most athletic guys in the company, even though he's a hair older than I am, believe it or not. To see him, but instead they used him as a comedy goof with The Miz running around with squirt guns and doing just complete and utter foolishness that no one wanted to see. Instead of presenting him as a great athlete that could have great matches, they put him out there. They wanted to make him an entertainer and make him an idiot, and they lost value in the John Morrison brand, quote unquote, as a result of it. And it's a shame because there's a guy, still going strong in his early 40s. There was no reason for it to work out the way it did. I knew he was done before it even started, when just a couple of weeks after his return, Lesnar eliminated him from the Royal Rumble within, from what I remember off the top of my head, just a few seconds. I said, that's not a guy they're pushing or going to protect. And it turned into a waste. You know, he had his big comedic WrestleMania moment with Bad Bunny. But I mean, okay, ha-ha, 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 yeah, okay, ha-ha. He was attached at the hip with Miz. They had squirt guns. They had wheelchairs, ha-ha, ha-ha. Instead of, okay, use him as a baby face and have some great matches. Imagine how good he could have made Roman look. Imagine how good he could have made Lashley look when Lashley was the world champion on Raw. But instead, let's make him look like a complete and utter buffoon. And you know what? I hope they're laughing because they flushed another great money-making talent down the toilet. I'll tell you the one that really got me, Oscar, and someone that I'd like to see here in Boston Wrestling MWF, the Hit Row faction that was just brought up from NXT to SmackDown with Isaiah Swerve Scott. They got about 6 weeks worth of TV in SmackDown. They tried to set up a little feud for them, and then they released all of them out of nowhere. I mean, come on. I mean, you have to give people a chance sometimes. It takes, instead of just bringing them up blindly from NXT with no build-up as part of their ridiculous draft process that they do, which is, I'm going to assume, put together by people that have never seen how a professional sports draft is executed. They brought up Hit Row to SmackDown, no vignettes, no real explanation as to who they were. We'll go back, you know what? We'll compare Hit Row to Men on a Mission. When Men on a Mission came in 1993, what was there? 6 to 8 weeks worth of weekly vignettes trying to get Men on a Mission over?
Mean, it was I mean, yeah, they ran them vignettes for a while.
Yeah, and they didn't give I'm sorry.
To when Men on a Mission came, everybody knew who they were. It wasn't no mystery.
So imagine if they did that with Hit Row. They didn't even give Hit Row 6 to 8 seconds of build-up when they drafted them to SmackDown. The fans that don't watch NXT, which is a lot of them, were very unfamiliar with who they were. So it's almost like starting from scratch week one. And if you're not building them up and hyping them up to where the fans, the larger fan base on SmackDown is familiar with them, you know, they're going to get a cold reaction coming out because the fans don't know how to react. I think Swerve Scott, what was his name? He was Isaiah Swerve Scott in WWE. Shane Strickland before he went to WWE. I mean, not the biggest dog in the fight, but just an outstanding athlete. Again, WWE flushes what could be great talent down the toilet. Some of the other releases, Jackson Riker, I don't see that as much of a loss. Shane Thorne, that was in the Retribution faction, I don't see that as much of a loss. I don't know what your thoughts are on the most recent 8. Did you see Hit Row at all on SmackDown?
You said Hit Row?
Hit Row, that new faction with Isaiah Swerve Scott and the rest of them that were in NXT.
No, I did not see them. I don't know nothing about them.
Well, you need to watch the shows more, Ross, because so we have something to talk about, for Christ's sakes. But if it came down to one I could save, if they said, you know, you can pick one that we won't release, it probably would have been Swerve Scott because he's younger than Morrison. And I think long term, you know, you could have him around more. Morrison's in his early 40s. Is he going to be full-time in 10 years? In 10 years, Swerve Scott will be Morrison's age now. So I would have gone with that. But again, that's just one man's opinion. That's why we have these talk shows. They're all about opinion. But back to Survivor Series, Oscar. What did you think about the much talked about women's match? You know, the tension from the behind the scenes problems supposedly with Charlotte and Becky Lynch, where they had a segment on TV that went wrong, where Charlotte kind of took creative liberties in the back and forth with Sonya Deville and Becky Lynch. They gave them a lot of time to open the show, that's for sure. What did you think of the women's match?
No, I thought it was one. I thought it was one of the better executed things of the night.
I like the finish.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I like the finish, but okay, I'll put it like this. I like the finish, but it was hard for me to believe the finish. I mean, I know Bianca Belair is.
Oh, no, I'm talking about Becky Lynch against Charlotte, the opening matchup. Champion versus
Oh, I'm
champion.
sorry. You know what? I'm glad it turned out the way it did. They put on a very good match, which Charlotte can work with anybody. So I expected it to be good. But I don't like Charlotte. I just don't like her character. Her arrogance is just unbearable. So when she lost, when she didn't get put over, and I look at it as a fan, when she lost, I was extremely happy.
Well, I tell you this, Oscar, not to try and be too personal, but man, sometimes when they shoot her video-wise at a certain angle, you almost don't even recognize her. She's had so much work done. I mean, first she had the breast reductions because her implants kept popping. But I mean, the face reduction that she had earlier this year, she doesn't even look like her. She looks like an elf. And then do you want to know what came up during as we did the live Survivor Series watch along? I don't know if you had a chance to check that out with myself and John C. Manicus Riley, but we were some of the fans were asking if Piggott would look good in the red outfit that Becky Lynch wore.
Why? See, why you killing it for next year? Stop, leave her alone.
Well, I mean, it wasn't an insult. It was, would she look good in that outfit? I don't know. Do you think? What do you think?
You know she wouldn't. I know she wouldn't. So knock it off.
Why do you say that? Why do you say she wouldn't look good in it?
Damn, Marty.
I don't know. I don't know if it was leather or latex, but maybe Piggott would look good. It would match your red hair. I don't know.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I tell you what I thought was the match of the night, and it was the one I was probably looking forward to the most, an undercard match. Randy Orton and Riddle, the Raw Tag Team Champions, defeating the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos. I thought that match was exceptional.
Yeah, that was good.
And you know me, I love good tag team wrestling. Riddle and Orton as a team, to me, is kind of, I like Riddle bell to bell. I think Riddle's promos are absurd. I think the skits they do with them are absurd. I think his entrance is absurd. I think him and his flip-flops is absurd. But when it comes time for the man to actually work, he is very, very good. Very watchable.
I can't argue with that.
And I see, as we head towards WrestleMania, probably an early 2022, an Orton heel turn to have those two face each other at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, April 2nd or 3rd, one of the 2 days. But I think that'll make for a really good singles match once it happens. And instead of, I'll give WWE some props, usually they're quick to break up tag teams at certain points. It looked like they were headed in that direction with Orton and Riddle at one point, but, they're running with them a little bit. And I think once it comes time for them to split, which, again, I'm going to guess is going to be some part in early 2022, you know what? That is going to have some value. The fans will be invested more in the two of them as a team. They'll dislike Orton more for turning on his partner. Maybe you'll see a situation where Riddle eliminates Orton from the Royal Rumble, where it's every man for himself. And that starts the tension, where Orton starts to seethe a little bit. And then, if it was good booking, over the next couple of weeks, maybe a month or so, you sense that tension in their tag team matches, and then eventually just 1 week, maybe they lose the tag team match to somebody, and boom, RKO out of nowhere on Riddle, and there you plant the seeds for a great WrestleMania match. That's how I do it. I don't know.
No, that sounds like exactly the future.
Well, if they do it well.
You hit it right on the head. I can't see it going no other way.
And we're taping this episode before we see Monday Night Raw tonight, but what do you think about this mystery about Vince McMahon and the golden egg from the Rock's movie?
Well,
are you there, Oscar? What? You're breaking in it? Oh, now I got you. Okay. What do you think of that?
Red Notice just came out. I saw it. Wasn't a bad movie.
Yeah.
It just came out. So if you didn't see this,
I think you broke up again, Oscar. I don't know if you can hear me.
hold on,
All right.
I hear you fine.
Okay, good.
I said, Red Notice just came out.
Mm-hmm.
So if you didn't see Red Notice, then you didn't understand the reference of the egg. So
I had
think it
no
was just
idea what the egg was.
Exactly. It was just early, say every least a week. For them.
You're breaking up again. I don't know what the hell you're doing over there.
To do anything with that, for the fans to understand what that was all about, and then it goes back. I'm gonna tell you how I feel about it. You remember SummerSlam '94?
Yes.
With Leslie Nielsen looking for the what was he looking for?
The Undertaker.
Yeah, Leslie Nielsen. That's what it reminded me of, and that ain't good.
Do you think the fans were let down, as there was probably where it was the 25th anniversary of The Rock and they played hype videos for him all night? Do you think there were fans that would?
God.
Whoa!
Disappointed.
Do you think the fans were disappointed that The Rock didn't come and get his egg or whatever it may have been?
I was disappointed that The Rock didn't show up because I was like, I expected it to happen.
Do you think they hyped him up too much for his 25th anniversary and him not being there?
Yes.
I agree with you.
Yes.
It would have been, maybe one time they could have acknowledged, it's 25 years since The Rock's debut. What's cool for me is that was the first time I was ever at MSG was that night, back in November of 1996. That was a cool experience for me to be in the world's most famous arena. But I think they hyped. I understand that they had the promotional tie-in for the movie. That's fine. But I wouldn't have all night have done Rock 25th anniversary videos because you set the fans up for disappointment. Why disappoint them intentionally?
Oh my God! Because I was glued to my TV. I wanted to see him, and then they had that little. That little credit bar on the corner of the right side, he was not coming. I'm like, oh my God, how could y'all do this to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. That was a disappointment. And I'm sure a lot of people, not only in the audience, but around the world watching on TV, was really, really let down.
Well, I'll ask you this, Oscar. On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rank Survivor Series?
Scale of 1 to 10, it was a solid 5.
Really? Wow. Geez, I actually went as high as a 7. Maybe it's because a lot of them this year haven't been as enjoyable as yesteryear, but the worst match of the night I thought was the women's 5 versus 5, and even that wasn't horrible. I thought it didn't have maybe the sizzle that one of the big 4 pay-per-views should have.
Excuse me, you see a car right there?
What?
Okay.
Oh. I was going to say I see many cars right now.
No, I'm talking to you, and I got my lift car right here.
You lift?
Yeah.
You're getting in a lift?
Yeah, I'm getting in a lift.
Where are you going? You get another sub?
Yeah, no. No, I'm actually... Dreamy Me is in Michigan.
Now, what is she getting this mystery baby?
Yeah, she had to go to a funeral.
Oh, a funeral. But what about the baby?
No. No news about the baby.
No news about the baby. All right, Oscar, if you're in a lift, that might be a great time. I've already got...
No, I'm not in it. The car that came up was not the lift.
Oh, it wasn't yours. Okay. Well, we're running short on time as it is. You gave it a 5. I gave it a 7. Fans, what did you think of this year's Survivor Series? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below or in the premiere chat. Oscar's so hot right now, they need the fire truck to put him out, I guess, down in Atlanta. What's the weather like in Atlanta? Make me jealous.
It is pleasant.
Well, what's the temperature?
Right now it's got to be like 66.
66. Well, I think today we may hit the low 50s. Thanksgiving, we're going to hit the low 50s, and then we'll be lucky to see the low 50s until probably April. So the cold weather is a coming, baby. What do you have planned for Thanksgiving, Oscar, before we go?
Family and turkey,
Yeah.
ham.
Ham.
Traditional.
All right. Now, do you have a favorite dessert for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, banana pudding.
Banana pudding.
Definitely.
Well, I'm a big fan of the old Boston cream pie. I like the chocolate pie with a nice graham cracker crust
After that pay-per-view
with
last
whipped
night,
cream on it. Huh?
After that pay-per-view, after that letdown, I need something to cheer me up. But again, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
No, I think the wrestling from start to finish was actually pretty good. I think for Survivor Series, there should have been some kind of sizzle to it. You know what I mean? One man's opinion.
No. You're right. There should have been some sizzle to it, but you're not always going to get sizzle with that steak. This is not the worst of the worst of the worst of the pay-per-views that we've seen over the years. So.
Oh no! I mean, there's been some clunkers in 2021 and in other years, but I can't fault any of the athletes. Every one of them went out and worked hard and they delivered. And like I said, I can't think of a match that there's maybe certain spots, certain things I wouldn't have booked if I was in creative, but just as far as the person watching it. The women's 5-on-5 match wasn't great, but other than that, I thought it was everything else was solid.
Let me ask you this before we go. I asked you this: the men's 5-on-5, Kevin Owens just walking out.
He thought he was Bad News Brown at Survivor Series '88.
I thought it was priceless. I thought it was priceless.
They haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah.
Bad News Brown, I think, was the only person that's ever done it. We know how long ago that was.
Yeah.
No.
Bad News Brown scared everybody in real life and from the stories I hear.
I was a big Bad News Brown fan. I think it's too bad he was at the age he was. I think he would have fit in great during the Attitude Era.
Yeah, even Andre the Giant.
Yeah. They had that confrontation on the bus. I mean, imagine Bad News Brown at his peak working with Austin. I think that would have been a hell of a feud.
Oh, no, you're right about that. Those attitudes clashing. Those attitudes alone would have been something else.
Bad News and The Rock, he could have been a good feud for The Rock. Undertaker and Bad News Brown, he was kind of old when he got into wrestling, where he had that Olympic background in judo and so on, and other athletics. But too bad, a shame. It is what it is. I'm not the world's biggest Kevin Owens fan. I was happy to see him gone, but that's just me. Any final thoughts before we go, Oscar?
Oh, yeah, I got a final thought. Let us really look into the toy drive, like you said. If you want to have me, I'll be more than happy to come. And then I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell everybody something. It's for the kids, it's for the toy drive, and it's because I love my man Dan. I found out when I came last week, traveling from Atlanta to Boston, it is not a cakewalk. I mean, I could not find a direct flight, which is what I prefer, because running around the airport is not fun. When I got on my way home, I found myself on the wrong side of the international terminal. They wouldn't help me with a wheelchair, so I had to walk clean across the terminal. And I mean, I didn't have a good time, but I am going to come. Maybe I learned my lessons on how to work things out better. I'm thinking that. But yeah,
you gotta book the wheelchair when you book the ticket, brother.
No, I did that.
Oh, you did that, really? And they still didn't help you. Wow.
Okay. Oh, no. What happened? This is interesting. What happened was when I booked the ticket wrong. I booked a ticket from Atlanta to Boston instead of Boston to Atlanta.
Mm.
So when I got to the airport, I was way in the wrong place.
Oh, boy. Well, no wonder why you had so much fun, quote
Wrong
unquote.
airline and everything. So I had to take the bus way over to it was an ordeal. But I'm coming.
Well, that's why you're a man on a mission, baby. Leave your thoughts in the premiere chat or the comment section below, fans. Don't forget, there's so many different ways you can help the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlock Toy Drive. We're going to be opening up the Cyber Raffle this week, where fans from anywhere in the country can enter and help our efforts, where Captain Lou Data has decided to piss on our toy drive and ruin what was going to be a lot of fun at Wrestle House 2 with Jerry Briscoe and Bushwhacker Luke and Dutch Mantell. But I'm not going to rant. I've done enough of that. I had a video that came out before Raw tonight if you want to hear the in-depth version of what's gone on. For my partner in crime, your host with the most, the man on a mission, the perhaps Grammy-nominated Oscar, I am Dan Marotti. We'll see you next Monday night at 11 p.m. after Monday Night Raw for Wrestling Insiders Monday Night Mission. You and yours, good night from Boston. Fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night. Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world. That was very animated in the opening. Sometimes people say I scream and they wonder why, but I get a little excited. That's all. I'm very happy too. It's a rare occasion that we have a lovely lady here in the studio. I think the last time we did was Vicky Guerrero, but this time a woman that needs no introduction, but the introduction could take up half the show with all your accolades.
Wow. What do you want? What do you want?
A great interview.
You're going to pay me
less.
less.
A great interview. A great interview. That's all and a smile. How about that?
Oh, that's easy. That's free. That's no problem.
If you guys missed the Cauliflower Alley Club Iron Mike Mazurki 2021 speech that we have online right now, you should check it out. Maybe we'll even put it at the end of the show in case they did miss it. But I believe you were the first female headliner in CAC history.
Well, as far as the Iron Mike Mazurki Award, Trish Stratus won it last time. But
she went on last?
I don't know if she went on last, though.
No, you went on last, though. You were the main event, baby.
Really? That was the first time ever?
I think so, yeah.
I love, it's always busting them doors and breaking them glass ceilings, baby. That's been my life.
You ruffled a few feathers.
I have ruffled a few feathers.
No, with that speech, you ruffled a few feathers.
First of all, thank you for having me out here.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Now, you know what, folks? You want to talk about putting her over. Again, we could talk about three-time WWE Women's Championship, AWA, All Japan, WCW, Monster Truck Racing, and all the other great stuff she's done. Her great autobiography that's coming out with our friends
Spring of 2023, yep.
Spring of 2023 with our great friends since, I think, 2006 at ECW Press.
Yes.
But when we had our issues, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, unfortunately, we lost from the event. Sometimes when I say we lost, they worry about passed away, because Paul Orndorff at one point was going to be part of this event. But we lost Jim Duggan last minute due to prostate cancer surgery. We lost the Berserker when his dad died. We had another talent situation that we won't talk about right now. But this lady, and I want to send thanks to WWE for helping me at the same time. We were almost stalking her as she was in the middle of the ocean on a Kiss cruise.
That is so funny. I know. And I'm like, what the heck is going on?
I can't imagine the reception was great.
Yeah, I would say that you were very kind and you were polite.
Thank you.
But you were getting right to the point. You're like,
I
need help. This happened. Nobody's showing and I need a main talent and please. And I'm like, who is this guy? Who is this dude? And then you're like, Sue, from WWE can back me up, and I'm like, oh, really? So maybe you are legit.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Sue texted me and said,
use Len.
yes, he's a good guy.
Did
and
she?
Yeah,
I
and I'm
love
like, okay, all right, I guess
You're
I'll
in,
work
baby.
with you. But since, I mean, we all get in those circumstances, right?
Oh,
Things
I
happen
say
beyond
this.
our control, beyond our control.
It is amazing.
And
that this
I'm very honored and glad that you thought of me to fill the spot for some of the other great talent that couldn't be here beyond their control too, you know? And Hacksaw, prayers go out to him too, because I mean, that's a hard fighting battle right there. But I know that, you know, he's got strong support, and we all are there behind him to back him up. So, and I'm excited to be here for a couple of reasons. One, because I get to work with you for the first time.
No one
and
ever says
two,
that.
Sue
Thank
put
you.
you over, so that says something, absolutely. And the event itself, this is amazing.
You
Who
tell
are
me-
we?
Oh.
We are represent.
See, now I do get teary-eyed when he comes up, just to warn you. 'Cause
Yeah.
his loss was, I'll tell you this, someone from WWE, I don't want to name names, but it was about 12:30 in the morning after a SmackDown taping.
Yeah.
It was, I think, Tuesday, March the 5th. And then we had an event at the venue we'll be at tomorrow night as we're taping this.
Yes.
He was scheduled to be on the event.
Oh.
And that
Can
wound
instead
up-
of saying he and he, can we
Paul
mention
Bearer.
Paul Bearer, guys?
He, the longtime fans, they know. I mean, they know the magic and the love in here.
Yeah.
But so I wasn't even able to attend his services because it was the day of the event. And X-Pac,
Oh my gosh.
X-Pac and I did a nice tribute in the ring to him, and all the talent came out and such.
Oh.
But it's not where I wanted to be. But it was like what X-Pac said. He'd tell you to get your ass to the building and be at that event.
Every wrestler would be and feel that way, though, you know. And
And it-
even I would. I'd be like, where I would want you to be is where you needed to be at that moment. If you were doing a show or doing something, and you know, that would make me feel happy.
I'll tell you a funny story. I texted him, even though he was dead, during the event,
Yeah.
saying, wish you were here. And it must have been one of his kids, and they responded, it's awfully hot in hell.
Are you kidding?
I was like blown away. I couldn't believe I got the text message.
I bet you
Percy,
absolutely like pooped yourself.
I was in shock.
Like, who's ribbing me here?
It had to have been one of his kids with his phone, I'm
That's
guessing.
pretty
But
good, though.
it was spooky for a second when I got the
Yes.
reply. Then I
Yes.
realized it was someone playing a joke. But
Right.
we've been doing it every year when he was alive. Myself,
Mm-hmm.
John Cena Sr., and Percy, Paul Bearer started the toy drive, and we
When did
continue
it start?
to do it.
What year?
2012.
Wow.
And then
It's such an honor to be a part.
it turns into so much stress, though. You know what I say
Yeah.
every year? I'm never doing it again. And you know what we do the next year?
And you do it again.
Because you know what? I look at it like this. When I was, I'm not I know there are some fans in the chat that will chastise me for this, but it's where you're new to the whole craziness that goes on here. When I was in that accident with the Sheik and the others that got blown up by that drunk driver, I pretty much laid in bed for a year. It wasn't a great Christmas for the little Maraudis. What I had to do to try and, you know, make a little magic happen was awfully difficult. And there are people in that situation every year. So if we
Yes.
can use the platform that we use for all the people in the world that knock pro wrestling, there's a lot of great things that pro wrestling does. There's a lot of smiles we
There
put on people's
are.
faces. There's a lot of...
WWE contributes so much too to so many charities, and I see other organizations getting involved, and that just warms my heart. And I'd like to be more involved, you know, with WWE and their organizations. I mean, I am on a Legends contract. You know, I wish they would utilize me more, Susie. So, you know, I'm right here. You know, that's the stuff I love. to do.
Lovable, engaging, what more could you ask for? Personable?
Oh, okay.
I was talking
Whatever.
about me.
Whatever. I'm still
But
going,
I mean,
whatever.
in all seriousness, it was tough. You know, it was a tough life at that point, but it was a tough Christmas, and I'll never forget that. And I think that's how the idea kind of started to develop. You know what I mean? To start the toy drive, and you know what? We've helped a lot of families and a lot of kids, as I like to say in wrestling terminology. Wink, wink, cough, cough. We like to update Santa Claus's GPS every year to find every kid's home, in case we have some youngins watching. So
tell me about the toy drive then. What takes place? What do you do?
what we do is we have the live event tomorrow, which
Tomorrow.
will be long since passed by the time folks see this. but we do the live event. We have this massive, you probably remember the Bozo the Clown show?
Yeah.
And I always hated the kid that they'd pick.
I mean,
And
I never watched it. He freaked me out.
Oh, well, at the end of the show, they did, it was 30 years ago now.
Even
but I mean,
even Mr. Rogers did. He
Really?
freaked me out as a
well,
kid.
you got the sweater on, I don't know.
What do you mean? Oh, the
Well,
sweater.
he was known for the sweater.
Mr.
We have he used to have a giant toy chest filled with all this great stuff, and they'd pick some kid out of the audience, and I always wanted to be that kid. So what we do is for the toy drive at the live event, we have a giant winner-take-all raffle, and they get everything.
I want to
mean,
be that kid.
autographed posters, autographed 8x10s.
Where do I sign up? Is it a raffle?
It is.
Okay,
but you can't
so
enter though. You're part of the event, and you don't want.
I can enter in a studio. I'll enter as Alundra Blayze.
I'll tell you this. And I know you're a pretty tough lady when push comes to shove, but you tomorrow will not want to deal with the monster known as Pigott.
Who?
Pigott.
Pigott or Pagan?
Pigott.
Pigott?
Pigott.
Who the hell's Pigott?
The monster that is you talk about holding someone hostage, that has made our endeavors at this beautiful venue that housed wrestling back in the 1930s and 40s, that is the Grinch that stole Christmas in many ways. She's a tough cookie to deal with sometimes.
Yeah.
So I would love to see you, maybe if you two cross paths. That would be, for me personally, worth the price of admission.
Oh.
Medusa and Pigott.
Wow. She's alive?
She is alive, yeah.
I don't get it. This is a rib.
No, her name is Pigott. I don't know why everyone thinks it's a work name. No, it's a shoot.
Okay. Until I meet her, I
she
will
looks
hold...
good. Did you ever watch The Facts of Life?
Yes.
She looked like Mrs. Garrett.
Oh, Jesus.
So
All right.
that's what you got to look forward
I'll
to
hire
tomorrow.
her as a manager. Whatever.
Let's talk a little bit before we cut to the break about our wonderful toy drive endeavor. Is after we had got through. Oh, so I didn't even finish telling you about it. So we have the big raffle. And
oh my God!
That's
shiny, bright things.
That's just the live event version of it.
Yes.
So then what we do is, starting the week after the toy drive, through usually the Sunday before Christmas, we have great episodes of the talk show like this where we push and push and push. And then we do little VIP packages, which is why Sue sent all those books that we have all the talent signed.
Very
and we
animated.
do pictures and all kinds of great stuff.
Are you Italian?
Yes. How could you guess?
I don't know.
Marati.
Because you talk a lot,
I'll tell you
and
my,
then you go,
I'll tell
your
you my
hands
whole
are
name off
miserable.
the air. It sounds like an Italian song, and they gave me a first name with 3 letters. It doesn't make sense.
What
But
the?
I don't know.
Okay,
know.
yes,
I
go
wasn't
ahead.
there for the decision
Okay, you were
making.
right here at this
well,
point.
I kind of was. I was in the stomach, I guess. But so what we do is, for a whole month, we take all of our nightly talk shows. We give the fans content 7 days a week, and we push and we push and we push. They have the VIP packages they can pick up online, and then, like I said, the Sunday before Christmas, we do a live holiday special, Christmas special, if you will, and we do very similar to what we have at Memorial Hall. We do a second giant jackpot raffle where one fan wins everything.
I got an idea.
What do we got? I want to hear it.
Why don't you do something different, mix it up? How many years you been doing this?
Should we raffle off Len Kaplan?
We're not going to raffle off Len Kaplan.
You don't think anyone wants
What
him?
about that one character that was on your show? You can raffle off him.
Who? Which one?
That one, no, not your show. He was very famous around here in this studio.
Man Unknown.
Yes.
Man Unknown. I would love to see an appearance by Man Unknown.
Yeah, where is he lately?
I tell you this, he would be a very interesting combustible element to add to what we do.
I think so.
Another foil for John Cena Sr.
And
he's got a lot of them. Believe me, he's got a lot of them.
Okay, here's my idea.
Let's hear it. Let's see what we got.
So remember the old Jerry Lewis telethons?
Yeah.
You should do a Christmas 24-hour telethon and get...
Show these episodes all in a loop?
Yes.
Well, you know what?
I think that was our time.
I am going to get some input from this very intelligent lady.
I got a great idea, guys.
She's
24-hour dial in or...
Well, I don't think we have enough phones. But
No. You should bring back that atmosphere, though. It would be fun. It'd be kind of like old... It'd be like old Jerry Lewis
yeah. Labor Day weekend, I think.
But you could do it more modern and do
Online?
a Zoom thing or something, or.
Oh.
And so they'd be donating instead of raffling, they donate for the Christmas,
Well, you see, I can be replaced easy.
See, you get
For all the
rid of
people
the
that-
old, you bring in the new. And walk from bye-bye old Italian, hello new Italian.
You go from an ass to class, ladies and gentlemen. Right now,
Class.
we're going to take a brief time out.
We're going to
We'll be
sweep
right back.
the floor and get rid of the cockroaches. See you in a few minutes.
Stand by. Fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night. Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marotti.
And I'm Mr. USA WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
The road to WrestleMania has begun. Wrestling fans are looking to add to their man caves. You got to see what we have in the eBay store.
Check it out.
Support Wrestling Insiders and keep wrestling legends working on eBay. At Survivor Series, it was champion versus champion as WWE champion Drew McIntyre battled Universal champion Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman. Get this 11x14 poster autographed by all three men. Limited edition, number 42 of only 50, with authentication hologram on the back of the poster itself. Comes with a mystery autographed 8x10 photo and an on-air shout-out from WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas on Wrestling Insiders at your house. Get it now. Wrestling fans, especially here in the Boston area, we want to thank our great friends at Red Rose for their support for all of our charitable endeavors and programming efforts. Red Rose is 2 years young and extremely thankful for all the support they've had from our neighbors here in Melrose and beyond for an amazing first 2 years. Red Rose thanks Melrose and all of the first responders who have fought the good fight and have never given up hope during these unprecedented times. We did it together. Follow Red Rose on Facebook for their anniversary special, facebook.com/Red Rose Melrose. You'll be glad you did. Open until 2 a.m. Red Rose will give you fresh, piping hot, mouth-watering food that'll put an ear-to-ear smile on even the toughest critic's face. Check out their full menu online at redrosema.com or give them a call, 781-620-1889. Wrestling fans, welcome back to Wrestling Insiders. The countdown is on to the big... I couldn't do that. I'd probably fall over. And
Okay, hi.
And even with your tremendous strength and athletic ability, I think I'm too heavy to be pulled up by you. In heels, she did it too. I haven't worn shoes since 2008 because of my issues, so I definitely couldn't get into those bad boys.
You have more than one issue, Dan.
What other ones do I have?
We can't discuss it.
Right. Well, I tell you this.
Not on film.
If Tony Atlas saw this right now,
Yeah.
he may...
Yeah. Yeah, Tony. He'd be choking on the fur.
Has he ever asked you to walk on?
Oh, God, he's drew pictures of my feet. Come on.
What, he actually drew a photo of your foot?
I think it was him. Who's the one that used to draw
he draws
pictures?
a lot of art.
That's
Nice
what it
art,
was,
yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
I think it was with one, like, on his face or something. Hold on, oh my God.
Not the rest of you, though, just the foot.
No, hell no.
Well,
No, that wasn't my thing.
I have to ask where it is, again, unique for us to have a lovely lady join us on the program.
Thank you.
You must come across some, especially when you were, on national television every week and a younger lady, you must have come across a lot of interesting people,
men.
interesting fans. Did you have any odd fan reactions? Hopefully no scary ones, but odd ones.
I mean,
know you can handle yourself.
I've had some fans that, I learned early on that I didn't get too close to fans. I never did. And I never had personal relations with fans way back when. And I mean, like, I was taught to keep them arm's length. And, but then, you know, as I got older, in your instincts grew and they became more polished, you could really watch the room better, basically. And I know my surroundings at a heartbeat. Like when I walk into a room, I can feel I can just feel where that negativity, that bad person is in a room. It's a good gift at most times, and sometimes it isn't. And I've just been gifted with that. So I've always, I just scan a room right away, or scan a fan, scan an auditorium, and I just always have kept my head on a swivel.
Not din fan, though.
Huh?
Not din fan.
Not din fan.
Room 211 out at Las Vegas at the MGM. He helped us tape the Cauliflower Alley Club. I don't know if you got a vibe off of that fan, but that's a different story for a different time. But did you get an interesting vibe when you walked into this crazy place? Yes. You weren't here. You were late, so you gave me my first impression already. Oh. Oh. The heart is, if I had that little emoji on the iPhone right now.
Yeah.
The heart is broken.
Wait till I'm texting you after.
If you saw the traffic, though, and you drove through this.
You know what? You know what? A good person will not blame it on anything except for themselves.
It was my fault.
Yeah, exactly.
I should have done it earlier.
No excuses. That is a professional. And
I screwed her over and made her wait.
No, because I entertained myself.
Oh, well, you weren't bored
and
then.
acknowledged myself with this amazing building that you have.
Well, thank
and
you.
everybody in it.
It is a nice place.
Yes.
Everyone for some reason, people think it's mine.
You've got the greatest setup. I'm like, God, he owns this whole building and this whole setup.
I don't.
No, but your helpers told me other stuff and you know, about the history and how it works. And I'm like, do I have one in my county?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I think most people do, but yeah, I think it's the set sometimes. It almost feels like you're entering like a library or something like that.
I want this in my house when I do my podcast.
Yeah. Well, if you had a green screen, you could take a picture of it and put it up.
No.
Well, you
I
want the real thing.
my own idea.
All right.
I got my own.
You've got a lot of ideas.
I do.
They're
I do.
flowing.
But we're building a new house, so one room, one bedroom is going to be just my game. I'm a gamer, so it's going to be my gaming room. It's going to be where I do all my videos. It's going to be where I do my promos. It's going to be staged for my podcast. It's going to, you know, probably about as big as this room, and it's going to have all my stuff in it.
It's a pretty good size
Yeah,
room.
but each wall and place is going to have, like this. That over there is Vegas. This here is wrestling.
Now, I thought, for whatever reason, you were a Cali girl. Did you live in California at one point?
I lived out in Cali for about 6 months, and I really liked it, but it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I went out there and I did a couple movies.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I mean, I was so ahead of my time, and I was pounding pavement and doing things.
Trailblazer, no pun
I mean,
intended.
when Vince came up with that, I mean, he hit it on the head. Trailblazer, and I freaking was, and it just like, whoa, you know, just came on. I was like, that's it. I was a trailblazer. And I mean, I was doing movies before anyone in our business, like, not anyone in our business, but a woman to go do it on her own without a federation and all the backing.
You did it all on your own?
Brandon Pender was the gentleman that got me into it, because he's a karate master and all this stuff, and he got me in doing a couple movies out in California. And a couple other things I did before it became big in wrestling. So it always takes that one person, man or woman, whatever, to break those barriers and set a standard and just kind of, you know, to keep going.
I got to get a little personal now. Cauliflower Alley Club Week, we actually taped content to kick off or help with the Paul Bearer Toy Drive. We had D'Lo Brown with us.
Yeah.
We had The Godfather with us. We had Kevin Sullivan with us. We had another gentleman that was
Kevin Sullivan.
Your buddy.
Did you hear me during my speech where I kept ribbing on him?
Yes.
That one part about John and Rezzy when we were overseas, I thought we were all going to jail.
Now, for the fans that may have missed it,
well, you can catch my speech on CAC's
we're going
website.
to put it in. That's our video.
And you have it up on here?
You know, maybe we should put it at the end of this show.
Put my speech out?
Yeah.
You guys, wait till you hear this part about
It's quite the story.
Kevin Sullivan, and when we were overseas, and he almost got us thrown in jail.
But I'll say this. One part where I think the timeline of your career may have been off a smidge, was when you were talking about the horrendous garbage matches they were putting you in WCW.
Oh,
that was during the Vince Russo era. That wasn't Kevin.
You know, but here's
You
the
blame
thing.
poor
I
Kevin.
got along with Vince, and I got along with Eric, and
But
I
you
didn't
blame
like, but I
Kevin.
did not like what the hell they were doing.
No, it was garbage.
The booking committee team was a bunch of dudes around a table, circle jerking, and all they were thinking about was TNA, you know, and
Not the
women.
wrestling promotion,
And
yeah.
there's nothing wrong with a good-looking woman in the wrestling business. But I was a wrestler, damn it, and I was so sick of these bikinis and barbecue matches and, you know, nightgown matches, and I was just like, it's very degrading.
It
and
is.
It was. I'm sorry, but I thought it was degrading. And every woman, I mean, I was fighting for this crap way back, you know, before the Attitude Era, and, you know, I got pushed out, I got fired, hell, I got let go by a FedEx.
That was another one that was
That was
little
interesting.
fired up after the reunion.
Woo! I was like, I'm sitting at home and I get a FedEx. I'm like, woo, maybe it's a nice chunky royalty check.
Royalty check, yeah.
WWE, I'm like, yeah. And then we don't need you anymore. Oh my God.
Did you ever see it coming?
No,
They
because
didn't-
I
really?
was a Vince's girl.
Well, it's not like they had a lot to choose from, yeah. I mean, if they were gonna...
You know, we say that, but there was some talent out there that you could have done something. If you're creative, I mean, they were that creative to kick off WrestleMania 1 and make it such a success all the way to WrestleMania 10. And yeah, we only had a handful of girls, but again, that's an excuse.
You could have...
I'm only as good as the writers. Just like my truck. I may be a damn good racer, but I'm not good. I'm not good if it wasn't for my crew chief or my truck.
It's like this studio.
Or
if I didn't have
the-
Captain Lou and Howard Miller.
Or the tech guys, or the dirt guys that put the dirt together. You know? So, yeah. Anyway.
It was a great waste of a lot of talent at that point in WCW.
Man,
but Kevin
if
didn't
I
book
could
it.
respawn-
Kevin didn't book it.
Kevin didn't book it?
That was Russo garbage.
Okay, whatever. Oh, you sounded just like him. You
Well, he's a
you know,
Boston
come
guy,
and think
too.
of it, you look like Russo right now.
People have said that and Mick Foley.
You're a very young, swimming sperm of Mick Foley right now, but I think
Oh,
you're more like
thank you.
Vince Russo.
All right, well, you know what? I wish I was making the money Russo was in WCW here at the studio. But that's a different
well.
story for a different time.
Yeah,
but,
well, anyway, yeah,
so
they all
you
made
ruffled
more
a few
money than the
feathers with
women.
the speech. I think the fans will be able to figure out who that is once they watch it. But I have to ask you about this one.
Okay.
I mentioned D-Lo, Kevin, Godfather. We had a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But we had a fourth individual that was going to join us.
Who?
And he did not join us because you were going to be at the casino.
Because I was going to be at the casino,
You were going to be at the Cauliflower.
and he didn't come
He no-showed on us
because I was going to be
because
there.
you were going to be there. Greg the Hammer Valentine, Las Vegas native now.
I was wondering why Greg didn't show.
Well, now you know.
And because of me?
Yeah. So what, is there a backstory to that? Or?
No, Greg. No,
Was
I
he
saw
afraid of
Greg at
you?
a signing, and we talk, we speak, and there's no heat with him and I. Maybe there's heat at home or something. I mean, when you think about it, why?
He has his friend Annie. I don't know if you remember her from out in Boston.
Who?
From the Hilton. Annie. I won't use the terminology that she's referred to since you're a lady, but AE would be the terminology. Her specialty, her special skill that she had with some of the boys. And
I don't know
well,
what
if you've
that
ever read
is.
Brutus Beefcake's book, he actually dedicated a chapter to the little mini romance in her specialty. But I don't know, I don't know what
I
it
don't know
was.
what you're
thought,
talking about, where you're going with this. What are you talking about?
well, no, well, I mean, Greg, when he was in Boston, he had this
He had a girlfriend.
special friend, Annie.
He had a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know who Annie is.
Well, I guess you didn't stay. Did you stay at the Hilton when you were in Boston?
I don't even know
You don't
what
even remember.
hotel I'm at now this weekend.
You've stayed at a lot of hotels over here.
What's the freaking point?
But why didn't Greg come?
To the CAC. Oh,
No,
we're
to
doing
do
the
our
signal.
little- Thank you, buddy. We're having the Perry Mason moment.
Yeah, okay,
Do you have
so
any idea why he wouldn't have shown up because you were there? Does it sound? It seems like you think it's odd.
yeah, because him and I have done a lot of signings together.
Maybe he was just looking for an excuse. I don't know.
No, I don't know.
But I mean, that really dampened what we were trying to do when we were there.
What
So
were you trying to do?
we rented one of the, I guess you'd call it a suite there.
Yeah.
And we set up 2 cameras and
Yeah.
microphones and lights, and we lugged six cases of equipment from Boston to Las Vegas, and we taped stuff for the toy drive. And he was going to be a part of it like you are, only we did. It was an easy way to get a lot of people in one whack, I thought.
Yeah.
But then you had No Show City, and it was like, man. And
I
that's
don't
the-
know.
well,
Maybe
You
he
weren't
was.
gonna-
Maybe he wasn't feeling well.
I don't know. Maybe he was jealous you got the Iron Mike Mazurki award, and he didn't.
I don't
don't
know
know.
why you would say that. He's a grown man.
It was just stress. It was disappointing.
Okay, you
and
know
it
what you
caused
need
stress.
to do, and I'm just going to nip this in the ass because
All
this
right.
is how shit gets
Well,
started.
that's what happened with Annie, but anyway.
What's that? Nip it in the ass?
Yeah.
So this is what happens. You're making all these accusations about Greg. Why wasn't Greg there? Why don't you just ask Greg?
Well, that was the reason we were given. I just thought maybe you'd.
Did Greg tell you that?
No, it was told through the second party. He said he's not coming because Medusa's there. And I'm like, why?
I don't know.
I know she's a tough lady, but
No, we don't have any heat. I
Well,
like Greg. Greg's
all right,
an
well-
If it wasn't for Greg Valentine, I wouldn't have been in the WWE.
you know what? What a great way to go to the. I don't know if you want to share that story, but
Why? I did in my speech.
After
I
this,
put Greg over in my Hall of Fame
Did you?
speech. Yeah.
oh, in WWE.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know, wrestling fans, right now we're going to
No
take
heat here with anybody.
Do you wish him a Merry Christmas?
Merry Christmas,
All
Greg.
right. We'll be back with more after this brief timeout to wrap up the show. Stand by.
Wrap it up.
Wrestling fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night. Wrestling fans, I'm Dan Marotti.
And this is the man of the hour, Leo Rush.
It's all over BostonWrestling.com and our social media. But Leo, brother, they got to check out some of this merch.
They got to.
Check it out, fans, right now available on eBay. You can add this to your collection. Support Wrestling Insiders and keep wrestling legends working on eBay. Get this WWE NXT TakeOver War Games 2020 11x14 limited edition autograph poster signed by everyone on the event, number 23 of only 100 made. Includes signatures from the Undisputed Era, Johnny Gargano, Damian Priest, Tommaso Ciampa, Timothy Thatcher, Io Shirai, Tony Storm, Rhea Ripley, Dexter, Loomis, and more. Comes with authentication hologram on the back of the poster. Also comes with mystery autographed 8x10 and an on-air shout-out from WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, on Wrestling Insiders at your house. Get it now.
Cheer. Why, hello. I would ask what was on your mind, but I already know. You want to know what has got my beard looking oh so majestic. And I'll tell you, it's sexy as hell beard care. Coconut oil, vitamin E oil, almond oil, both sweet and bitter, shea butter, it's all natural. Yes, JTG has actually come out with a high quality product, so support your boy by going to sahbeardcare.com and take one step closer to becoming sexy as hell. Cheer. Ooh, cheer. You know?
Wrestling fans, welcome back to Wrestling Insider Special Edition. You're hearing those jingle bells? Maybe we should have had a little tree and some garland out instead of an Al Snow head.
Where's the Christmas stuff? Where's my menorah? Where's the tree? Where's the stockings could be hanging up there?
You know what? That's actually a great idea. We could put maybe some stockings and some
garlands
on these
Out with the old,
poles.
in with the new.
See why we need a woman's touch? All I hear from Linda is no, no, no instead of ho, ho, ho. Linda's for 19 years, Linda, if you're watching this. And
Who's
I know
Linda?
The ex.
Oh, exes are great.
Someone, you know what I mean? We have a lady's touch here. Someone that is
so you know what he's trying to say? Linda, you were right all the time. Men cannot tell you that. So what he's trying to say, you were right.
But I mean, imagine if she could have added some of the nice creativity that you've, ideas-wise, that you've added to the show in just one episode.
Yeah, just in a matter of a couple hours. I mean, how
Not
easy
even,
that?
we're about half an hour in. I mean, look at between the toy drive idea you had, decor ideas here. Linda, come on, kid. I mean, you know, I'm still nice. You know, you can help me with an idea.
All right, let's get back to
you can't go wrong with the woman's touch, is the way I look at it.
Let's get back to the decorations. What do you got going on here?
Well, this is pretty much it.
I like it.
All right. We did, you want to know a funny time? One time Mick Foley came, but he had to come early in the season. And it was well before Halloween.
Did he dress up like Santa?
No. He didn't have the beard white yet. But I think it was early October, and we set up a Christmas tree.
In October?
Which I thought was funny. I don't know why, but
he would have enjoyed that because he's got like a section in his house, like he keeps.
Yeah, he loves Christmas.
Christmas, I do too. I love Christmas.
I wouldn't go to that extent to have the tree up year round, but we did. We had to set up the tree, and we had little stockings, and me, Mick, and John Cena Sr. had a grand old time. Mick had another book come out about his love of Christmas. I don't know if you've ever read it. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I got his books. Yeah.
He's got a lot of books. That guy won't stop writing.
He's a good writer.
I can't wait for your book to come out.
Yes.
Do you have any surprises planned for us?
First of all, the book, I don't have the title yet. Like, I've got it figured in my head, and I don't know exactly what that is. But the book will be out in spring of 2023.
Perfect timing with WrestleMania season.
Well, okay, that too, I guess. That is good. And I've been writing with Greg Oliver. Greg is an amazing man because he is a fact checker. And he, telling my stories throughout my whole life, right? And put everything in, and we slowly, you know what? We're going to save this, we're going to save that, we're going to save that, because I have, 18 plus years of wrestling. I have 19 years of monster trucks. How do you bring
did that
almost?
Long?
Yeah.
19 years?
Yes.
Wow. I didn't realize it was that long.
Yes. I was just in Australia in 2020 racing monster trucks.
How'd you get in? Was it before?
2020.
Was it before COVID? Or?
It was during COVID. I barely got back to the States.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, that's when everything started shutting down. So I went over to Australia in March and raced, flew back, went back in April and raced.
Wow.
And
you got
barely
lucky.
made it back into the States. Can you imagine right now in Australia? Because they're like super locked down.
I've had a friend in New Zealand that's wanted me to come and visit him for eons. And now, I mean, I think they may be the strictest. I think they've had like 15 people get it, though, in the whole country. Every time someone gets it, they go into quarantine mode. It's a crazy life they have to live.
Can you
Most
imagine
people
living
don't
your
work.
whole life like that for the rest of No.
Going on almost 2 years now.
Yeah,
New Zealand is extremely
That's extreme.
strict.
I get it.
I feel
okay,
he actually is one of the few people, because he's involved in education. He actually does go to work every day, but it's a different world.
I
just
don't accept. I just don't accept. Well, it's just the way it is. If I was that type of person, I just accept things the way it is. I'm a changer. I change things. I just don't say, okay, this is the way it is. No.
I look at it like this. If he wants me, he knows where I am, he's going to come and get me.
There you go. That too.
That's how I look at it.
That too. Sooner,
And
I mean, we're going to go.
We don't want to get into that because, you know,
No,
people think,
I'm not saying that I'm against everything. I'm just saying that you cannot live in fear
of everything.
Of everything, and you've got to choose what works for you and be mindful of others, but do you, and you will live a healthy, strong, long life.
This is almost like an inspirational video to the fans at home.
That's kind of like how my let's circle back, as Jen Psaki would say. Circle back to my book.
Yes.
So it would say, it is motivating, it's rewarding, it'll make you happy, make you laugh, it'll make you cry, it'll piss you off. You'll at the
like
end
the
you'll be fist,
rooting you
fist
on, baby.
pumping like at the end, and it's motivating. And I will tell you guys, this book is about me, my life, not anybody else. So all the phone threats, all of the, like, if I'm in your book, I'm going to sue you. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
There's some very worried people out there.
Wow, this is going to be... Thank God we have good friends at ECW Press to get some comps.
And this is why I'm getting back to Greg Oliver, is that he is a fact checker.
So you got a good egg with you. Yep.
And I think, and it's beautiful because everyone that he's interviewed, it's because I've told him a story. And he says, it's not that I don't believe you. These are really wild, crazy stories, but I need to get the facts straight. So I need to talk to the people that are involved. Okay, go ahead. And he comes back and he's like, wow, So he's fact checking the year, the date, the people, the stories, if they're sort of the same, because everyone remembers a story a certain way, the way they remember it.
Sure.
Because no two people are going to say a story the same. Not that it isn't true, but they tell it the way they remember it.
Do you want to know who actually gave something on par with what you just said? I considered it great wisdom.
Yes.
Marty Jannetty, of all people, who I think was involved with something before he arrived here at the studio as he was in La La Land. But he said, you know what? If we were sitting at the beach, the water was in front of us right now, I'd say to you, Medusa, point to where the moon is. You'd say the moon is over there. Say, Dan, point to the moon. I'd say the moon is over there. We're both looking at the moon, different angles, different directions, I thought that was quite
and that's
sage from Marty.
exactly how I say it. It's just exactly, and I agree. It's beautiful, and it hits home with a lot of people. They're like, and it brings me back to the story between Eric Bischoff and I, and where I mentioned him too as well in my WWE Hall of Fame speech. And I love him. I love his family, and I wouldn't be where I am today, with a lot of, if it wasn't for him and I changing the trajectory of wrestling.
Did you guys interact at all in AWA, or were you gone by then?
We worked together. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. And it was kind of like, I tell the story that, hey, he called me and said, hey, what are you doing, Deuce? I hear, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but I said, well, I still got the title. And so he'll say, I never called her. And I'm like, yes, he did. And he'll say, no, she, blah, blah, blah. And so it goes back and forth. So he remembers it one way, I remember it another way. But to the full story is, it doesn't matter. It happened. It doesn't matter who called who. The bigger picture is, look what happened. And I tell him, I says, take off with the brilliance of the story, because it captured everybody around the world.
Oh, I'll never forget that.
Right. And it had so many meaning, me trashing the title in the,
What a way to get back at that FedEx package.
No, it wasn't about getting, I'm going to set that straight too, and it's in my book. It's not so much about, I'm going to get somebody back. And I will tell you, and it's out there. I'm like, oh my God, maybe I'm going to get some exposure finally. Or maybe I might get on a cover of a magazine. I swear to God, on everything that I own, those are the things that went through my head. like maybe I'll get a bonus or something. Well, let's see. I sure did. I, got.
Can you imagine if social media existed then?
Oh! Well, I mean, I didn't. Yeah. Well, a lot of people in the business drank the Kool-Aid and were like, said some awful things about me when I did that because they were on the gravy train, Well,
you'd think if it was such a point of contention, they would have asked for it back. I don't know.
I mean, why didn't they?
That's what I mean.
But they did, and I explained it in. No, I take that back. They did not. I repeat, they did not ask for the title back, and the reason why they didn't, I explain it in the book.
I can't wait for this book. I love to read the wrestling books. ECW Press, as a matter of fact, is part of the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. Was kind enough to send along a box of books. They don't have yours yet, though. I gotta wait. They're keeping me waiting.
My book. It's not even.
It's like the Halloween movie.
It's barely in the editing room, guys.
You did finish it though?
We are just about finished. It takes about a year to write, and then about a half a year in getting the cover and the name and the editing done. And I think I'm going to go ahead and add what a few things, or we might take out. So I have almost 40 years of entertainment of life.
Yeah.
So how do you put that in one book? You don't, guys. So, I mean, there's going to be probably a couple more coming out after. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you're with the good people at ECW
I
Press.
am too.
And I'm glad you have a good
amazing.
writer, because I tell you this,
Greg Oliver is the shiznit.
As much as I love ECW Press, I
love Greg.
I was in this.
Oliver.
Well, I wish he helped this man. That's
Al Snow?
I am in Al Snow's autobiography, but the ghostwriter or assistant writer butchered my name so much you wouldn't even know.
Who's the writer of that book?
I don't remember. But they butchered my name so bad, and I was so excited to read it because Al told me one of our adventures was in his book. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait. And then they sent me the copy, and I'm like, who the hell is this? I said, oh, that's me.
Oh, my God.
And they said, if we ever do a second printing, we'll correct it. So ECW Press, thank you for helping Paul at Bearer.
Oh, you're going to give me another one of these signals? Oh,
Captain
man.
Lou Data. He was actually, did you ever see The Goonies?
The Goonies, yes.
He was the stunt double for Data.
Oh, look at him in the, oh my God. Why do you pick on him?
I love Captain
You know
Lou.
what,
I only
speaking of
pick on the
Christmas,
ones
what's
I
your,
like.
we're going to wrap it up here. So what is your favorite part of Christmas, and what was the best Christmas experience you've ever had?
Seeing the kids smile when they open something they like.
Yeah. Or the unfortunate people that actually get to experience and receive something, or seeing their faces because, just being one of those kids growing up. And kids were everything to me. My children were the ones that were sitting in the stands, 60,000 kids cheering my name in the monster truck. And they would stand in line for 4, 5, 6 hours to get my autograph.
Wow.
No, that's a shoot.
Really?
Yes. It was unbelievable.
That's like what our friend Sue says. She says all of her kids, or all of the Make-A-Wish and the various charity, those kids, they all
and those
touch
have been
her
my
heart.
kids my whole life. I never had children of my own. And so I married my career.
Well, mine aren't biological either, so I know how you feel about that. But, it's a great feeling to see them happy.
And that's all in my book, and that is very heart-wrenching, guys. Just be prepared.
Well, if you want to end on a more crazier positive note, you'll meet Quincy Rustani tomorrow. He and I waited 6.5 hours in line to get him PlayStation 4. And what I had to do to get PlayStation 5 last year for him.
Oh, wow.
I know you're a gamer. Do you have that yet?
No, I'm a PCer.
See, I know what you mean, but I know there's different systems.
No,
and some
I got
people
the
do it
double
on a
screens
computer.
and the keyboard and the
Do
controller.
you have a favorite genre or game?
I'm a horror flick chick.
Really?
Yes.
Do you like the horror movies too?
Yes.
Did you see Halloween Kills?
Yes.
John Cena Sr. buried it. What did you think?
Really? I thought it was all right. Everyone thought it was so great, and I just thought it was all right.
I like the intensity. It wasn't a quote-unquote sport.
That was not intense enough.
I don't like the quote-unquote sports entertainment type horror movies where they throw the comedy and it loses me.
Yeah, I don't like the comedy. I think some of
liked it.
Some of my favorites were the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
The ones from the 70s?
Yes.
So,
70s.
Yeah.
Guys, check it out. And I mean, some of there was some Christmas horror ones that were good. Gosh.
Have you ever done Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios?
Yes, it's my favorite.
I took the kids for the first time this year. We went, same week Cena Sr. went, and they had a Texas Chainsaw Massacre house.
Yeah.
And we went and saw Halloween
I
Kills while
love
we were
it.
down there. We had a great time, and that's when I was communicating with you in the ocean.
Yeah, on the ocean. I was on 2 cruises back to back. I was on the Chris Jericho triple whammy cruise, and then the husband and I, Alan, everyone calls him the Sarge. The Sarge and I stayed on land after Chris Jericho's cruise, and we chilled on the ocean there and for about 3 days, and then we got on the Kiss cruise immediately right after. I think that's when we started talking to you, and here I am. But I was going to tell you, one of my favorite times though too for Christmas is that my husband and I would always go to New York, except for the last year or two, whatever.
Oh, isn't that nice?
We'd go to New York once or twice, and one of them was during Christmas, and we'd do 54th Street up and down. We'd do the park. We go to the musicals and the plays. And Christmas is so magical in New York.
Sure
it
is.
was, and it used to be. And I don't know. I think we're going to find something different. Things change, and I love New York, but I'll have to find Christmas. I think in a smoky, woodsy, back town.
Chestnuts roasting
on an open fire. And on that cue, that's it.
All right, wrestling fans, we are running out of time on this show. So happy to have her with us. Once her book comes out and all of the great stories are shared, we can have her come. We'll do a book signing at one of the events.
Out with the old, in with the new.
But again, don't forget this guy.
Yes.
So we've lost so many of our brothers. Paul Orndorff was supposed to be with us at this, and sisters as well. But you know what? I take that as a compliment to say one of the boys. But Paul Orndorff was going to be with us originally for this event. In its original incarnation, Road Warrior Animal was going to be with us. And we'll never be able to have them back here again. You made me water up with what you said about Paul Orndorff in your Cauliflower Alley Club speech, because I thought a lot of that man. And you know what, folks?
Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I was just sitting there with him.
He was
and I
supposed to
didn't
be
know it
with
was
us
going to be my
tomorrow night.
last time.
Tomorrow night he was going to be with us.
We never know.
But anyway, we want to end with spirits high.
Spirits high!
Great things are coming your way.
Deuce,
Now, wait a
we'll
minute.
be back again.
She'll say goodbye, but don't you cry. She'll be back again someday. She's going to be part of the great VIP packages that we're going to have available for you folks that couldn't be with us at Memorial Hall in Melrose. And again, hopefully in this studio. It's nice to have a ladies' touch. One man's opinion. I thought Vicky Guerrero was we need those for the rap. You need the t-shirt gun. All right, wrestling fans. We're going to give this lady almost a free trailer for her book.
Am I supposed to sign these books?
Yes, fire away, baby. We're going to go back to Las Vegas, Nevada, Sin City. Watch this lovely lady accept the 2021 Iron Mike Mazurki Award with our friends from the Cauliflower Alley Club. You can also get information on how to join the Ring of Friendship, the CAC. Until we speak again, folks, you and yours, be well, be healthy. Good night from Boston. Fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night. Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marati.
MJ up in the house.
We want to wish you and your family a very happy, healthy Thanksgiving. You've had your big feast. You've had your desserts. Maybe like Marty, a little
if
pie.
it's a poor family?
Huh?
That's not nice to say. Because what if it's a project? You know, they don't get to eat turkey. Project, you know.
No, maybe they wouldn't be able to afford the internet either to watch the show.
Oh, that's right.
Well, there you go. So you never know. But for those, we hope everybody had a happy, healthy,
that's better.
Fun, memorable Thanksgiving. A brand new Wrestling Insiders party with Marty begins now. All right, wrestling fans, again, we hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Dan Marathi here with Marty Jannetty. Marty, what is the typical Jannetty Thanksgiving like?
I always like ham, but they
You
always,
like ham for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Maybe because you're such a ham.
No, the girl next door was, okay, hang on, tell that.
Yeah, now why?
But, you know, we were kind of poor when I was growing up. I can tell this.
Yeah. This is the holidays. It's a little different.
Oh, but that's right. It's showing in November.
This is Thanksgiving night.
No, it ain't.
It is.
Oh, my God.
In a different era, you would have been working Survivor Series, but instead you're with me.
Which was never on Thanksgiving. It was all like a day before or a day after.
No, from 87 through 90 it was on Thanksgiving.
It was on there? Okay. But when I was younger, we didn't have no money. And, yeah, you sure?
Go ahead.
I'm going to cry, though.
Well, it's your life. It's your life story. Tell us as much as you want to.
I'm going to cry, though.
Well,
let me get a deep
we
breath.
can be real on this show, too, along with all the laughs.
We didn't have no money, man. And when the holidays came around, we didn't have nothing to eat. But me and one of my best friends at that time, well, we'd go to the dumpsters and get food. There was a lot of food in dumpsters. We called it the dumpster diving. But, and we'd go get all that. Because sometimes, and I think I might have told this before, like, well, I'm skipping, but choked up now. A successful day. I remember one time being in the dumpster and found half a McDonald's hamburger. Did I ever tell this? I found half a hamburger in McDonald's and orange Fanta or soda, whatever the hell it was. And that was like payday. That was like, wow, look, you know, because there was other people doing the same thing. They were eating out of the out of the dumpster. And it was payday, like when you found something like that. But to answer that, what you just asked, sometimes people throw so much food away.
When you think about it, yeah, on the average given day.
Yeah. And when you're hungry, you're looking at a dumpster and all that food, and you're like, why the fuck would you throw that away? But sometimes that was our Thanksgiving and our Christmas. And New Year's. We did shit on New Year's.
Your whole family went to the dumpster?
No, just me and my friend.
Well, what would you do with your family on Thanksgiving?
Well, when I'd bring it home, my dad worked his ass off. He was in jail till I was 2 years old.
Okay.
You
And what
know
did he
about
do?
that?
No.
Yeah, well, I'm about to tell you off something else, and Gino's gonna get mad as shit about this, but you lied to me, you didn't tell me. I found it out in a letter. My dad was in jail till I was 2 years old because my mother was very religious and her family, and she couldn't be out of wedlock. She couldn't have a kid. You know, they're not supposed to fuck. And so she told my dad to marry her, or she would claim rape.
Really?
Yes. And he was in jail until I was 2 years old. Gosh, damn, I ain't supposed to be telling you.
So your mother and father, they were never married?
Yeah, they were, but it was 2 years old. I was 2 years old.
But he actually went to jail before he did it?
And I got the letter, and he said, and he called her Miss Ruby. That was her name, Ruby. And he called her Miss Ruby. Okay, I'll go ahead and marry you. Just get me out.
Wow.
Yeah.
So would you call it a loveless marriage?
He couldn't stand her. Neither could I. I actually didn't like my mom. She beat us.
Wow.
She beat us. She would take this bottle right here and hit you. Maybe not fireball, but she would take a bottle and beat us. Not, when I say beat us, my sisters. And there was, why am I telling this?
Oh, you know, it's where
Oh,
sometimes when you
okay.
reflect back on holiday memories, they're not always the greatest. I have some that weren't so great. I tell you, when I got blown up and I was injured and I was unable to, you know, take care of the little Maraudis, I can't tell you how much that killed me.
One time, you know about my... Yeah, I'm sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's pretty much it. It was very difficult and draining on me. It was depressing. You know, not to have the normal...
You know my brother Eddie got murdered.
You had a brother Eddie that was murdered?
Eddie, yeah, when I was 3 years old, he got murdered. I never got.
How old was Eddie Jannetty?
15.
What happened to him?
He got murdered. They took him to. It was a.
But was it an accident? Well, not an accident.
No, it was on purpose. And it goes like this, and I shouldn't be telling y'all, but I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna tell you. It was an Italian thing, and my daddy, who I loved, that's my. Goddamn, I'm gonna cry, Dad.
It's from the heart.
Dad told Mom, which he couldn't stand anyway, but he, you know, Gino's gonna beat my ass. He don't like me telling this, but it's the goddamn truth. I'm sorry I'm crying, but it was an Italian thing. My dad was running a casino. Now he's connected. Was you know.
Jannetty's an Italian name.
Yeah, and they were doing casinos down south, and you know he ran with them, but they closed it down, and they got upset because it got closed down. And our neighbor was Italian, or you know, part of it. Yeah. And Dad told Mom, because Eddie loved to go fishing. He loved to go fishing, and they went fishing all the time, neighbor. But Dad told Mom, do not let him go. He didn't say why. He just said, do not let Eddie go. Don't let him go. And she waited till he went to work, and she said, go. But just get back before he gets home. He got murdered. They took him to the lake to fish and pushed him in the goddamn river, or a lake. It was a lake. Pushed him in the goddamn lake. Now, here's what happened in court. I can't believe I'm really telling this on TV. In court, they said their side, them motherfuckers. I'm almost said ninja. They said he fell out of the boat and he panicked and was hitting his head up. And the reason they were saying he's hitting his head, because they asked, well, why did he have cuts all over his head? Because they beat him with the fucking boat oar. They beat him with the boat oar. But they said, nah, he fell out the boat and was swimming underneath and hitting his head on the bottom of the boat. Eddie was a goddamn certified lifeguard. He didn't fucking panic. They killed him. They killed him. And then, this part I'm not going to say all, because I don't know how many years you can go back. I'll just put it this way.
7 for most, but
no, not on murder.
Well, 0. I mean, infinity, I guess, would be the best answer. But
the guy, the man that lived next door, that was involved, he disappeared. And they kept taking my dad to court, like asking questions, like what happened, what happened, what happened, what happened. And never got Dad, but that guy disappeared. And Gino's gonna hate me saying this. Gino said Dad didn't do it.
He didn't do it?
That's what Gino said.
Oh.
And you know why he knew that?
Why?
Yeah.
Well,
and he said it was on train tracks. He caught him walking across some train tracks away, you know, and Gino walked up behind him.
Into a train?
No,
Oh.
it was on train tracks.
Oh, I see what you mean.
A big fall. Damn, brother. I feel so bad.
How many siblings?
Gino's gonna beat the shit out of me.
How many siblings do you
like,
have? Or did you, including Eddie, did you have?
I had, Gino and Eddie, and then Diane, Dane, and Pat, 3 sisters.
So there
none of them were from my dad. They were all first marriage.
So you were the only child that came from your parents?
Yeah.
And your mom had 5 other kids with another man?
Was it 5 or 4? It was Eddie, it was Gino, it was Pat, Dane, and Diane. Yeah, I guess you're right. 5.
And they were all from a different dad?
Yes, first one.
Okay. And you came last, obviously.
Yeah.
So, I mean, were your parents together long?
Oh my God, I can't believe we just did that. I needed to get that out, y'all. Don't get mad at me, cause we'll cry fucking again. But you know what? That shit happened when I was 3 years old. It still fucking upsets me, cause Eddie. Here's what I remember.
Eddie?
I told you that my mom was bad. She wasn't a bad person. She was off in the head, and she used to beat us. She would beat us. And I remember one time sitting out when I was 2.5. Because Eddie died when I was 3, sitting outside the room listening, because she would make us get naked to beat. She would beat us with, like, whips. Like, she would get coat hangers and hit us with that. And this is a Southern thing. You go get a switch. You go break a damn branch off a little bush. That. And sometimes she used the water hose. I hate calling it a hose pipe, and there's a reason. And would beat us with that. And I sat outside the room one time. I sat outside listening to Eddie and I knew what she did. She made us get naked to beat us. She would make us.
Sounds like the Joan Crawford stories that were known.
I don't know what that is. But
the actress, way back.
Still don't know, but yeah, we would. Maybe it's a Southern thing. You take your clothes off because it hits you on the skin. I guess. I don't know. And my mother wasn't a freaky. She was just off. But she would. I sat outside the door and heard Gino and Eddie getting. Why am I doing this? But I already did it. I sat there and cried because I heard my. I heard Eddie. And Gino, and they're screaming. And here it is. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And they were screaming. And I was just a kid, I remember squatting down by the door crying because she was beating the shit out of him. It's one of the only memories I got of Eddie.
Well, I'm sure he's still with you in spirit. If you believe the way I believe.
I'm sure.
Maybe you've got, a guardian angel on your shoulder. Where you've had so many misadventures in your time, and you're still here.
I'm sure Eddie's.
You're still here with us, which is a great thing.
He told us. This is the only thing I remember. Because we had a lot of problems. Because mom and dad dad didn't like mom at all, and it was a lot of fights. I don't know why I'm telling all this, but fuck it. At this point, I already fucked up. I was never liked in school because. We lived mainly in the project, mainly in black neighborhoods, and I already said this. I think white people didn't like us because we lived with what they called us white trash, and black people didn't like us because we were white. So we had nobody. But oh boy, why am I telling all this?
Well, sometimes it's good for the soul.
Nobody, when I was in school, like elementary and all that shit, the kids were not allowed to play with me and wouldn't have nothing to do with me because they were told by their parents, no, stay away. Because the police came to the house all the time.
Were you the only Jannetty child?
Jannetty, yes.
The rest of them all had different last names from the first?
Yeah, first one, yeah. And in school, I might have told y'all this, I was the best athlete. There wasn't nobody better than me, but you pick teams like kickball, basketball, whatever the fuck. You pick teams like, okay, you. I was always last. I was better than any of them. I was always the best, but I was always last because, you know what happened one time, Dan? I couldn't have no friends, and what I mean by that is the parents said no, stay away, because police were always over, because they would fight all the time or argue all the time. Dad couldn't stand it, and I couldn't either. But and I'm sorry, Gino.
Why do you think they stayed together so long?
Dad, you know what Dad said?
What?
Cheaper to keep her. Because I told him one time, that's what he really said.
I've never heard that phrase, but it's actually accurate.
Very.
Yeah.
And I told him, I thought, I was like 7 years old. I said, Dad, I thought it was over divorce, shit. I didn't know, I was 7 years old. And I said, Dad, I'm going, in court, I'm going to say, I'm going with you. And I hate to say it, Gino, you're going to get mad, but I couldn't stand Mom, and you know that. But I told Dad, I said, I'll go with you. I'll tell the judge. I was a kid. I was 7 years old. I didn't know. I just saw them fucking fighting all the time. And I was like, Dad, what are we doing? But he said, cheaper to keep her. And that's the reason they stayed together, man. It was miserable. It was horrible. It was horrible. Nobody in the neighborhood. One time, this is what I was going to tell. I had no friends. They couldn't have nothing to do with me. But one day, and they'd be out there throwing the football and playing, in the street like we used to, But I had got Kool-Aid. I went and got Kool-Aid. And because back as kids, we used to eat it, right out of the
Almost like candy sometimes,
Yeah. And I got a bunch of that. I went and sat on the damn curb. And then everybody came over. And
they
then
wanted
ate the
your Kool-Aid?
They
wanted your Kool-Aid?
Not mine.
Oh.
But but that was the only way I had a friend. I had to go sit on that curb with Kool-Aid.
All right, wrestling fans, right now, when we take a timeout.
Yeah, please.
Certainly wasn't what we expected here on this Thanksgiving episode, but you know what? Sometimes the holidays, they bring back
Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Sometimes the holidays, they bring back memories.
Timing.
Well, you know what? I look at it like this, Marty.
Well, you
I
look at
think
it like...
maybe you can make people feel better. Maybe there's people that can resonate with your story and what you went through as a kid and how it still bothers you an adult. There's a lot of things that happen to young people that stays in their psyche.
You know what Gino told me?
What?
He said, that's my brother, if y'all don't know. And he's my hero, besides my dad. The two heroes I got in life. Dan's becoming that, but
I'm becoming your dad?
Hero.
Oh, thank you.
And Gino told me one time, he goes, you're grown up now. You make your own goddamn decisions. But that shit still etched in my
your brain. Well, that's why I think it'd be good if you spoke with Dr. David Reitz, and we're going to set that up. I'm going to reach out to him today.
Let's do it now.
Well, like I said, he has clientele during the day, and I don't want to interrupt his patients. There it'd be noontime there.
What time is it here?
3. So why don't we take a brief time out, folks? We'll be right back for more Wrestling Insiders. Stand by.
Wrestling fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marotti.
And I'm Mr. USA WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
The road to WrestleMania has begun. Wrestling fans are looking to add to their man caves. You got to see what we have in the eBay store. Check it out.
Support Wrestling Insiders and keep wrestling legends working on eBay. At Survivor Series, it was champion versus champion as WWE champion Drew McIntyre battled Universal champion Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman. Get this 11x14 poster autographed by all three men. Limited edition, number 42 of only 50, with authentication hologram on the back of the poster itself. Comes with a mystery autographed 8x10 photo and an on-air shout-out from WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas on Wrestling Insiders at your house. Get it now. Wrestling fans, especially here in the Boston area, we want to thank our great friends at Red Rose for their support for all of our charitable endeavors and programming efforts. Red Rose is 2 years young and extremely thankful for all the support they've had from our neighbors here in Melrose and beyond for an amazing first 2 years. Red Rose thanks Melrose and all of the first responders who have fought the good fight and have never given up hope during these unprecedented times. We did it together. Follow Red Rose on Facebook for their anniversary special, facebook.com/Red Rose Melrose. You'll be glad you did. Open until 2 a.m. Red Rose will give you fresh, piping hot, mouth-watering food that'll put an ear-to-ear smile on even the toughest critic's face. Check out their full menu online at redrosema.com or give them a call, 781-620-1889.
All right, wrestling fans, welcome back to Wrestling Insiders. We were trying to reflect upon holiday memories with the Jannettys, and it really wasn't what I expected. I certainly I apologize. I didn't know we were. Well, you're telling your story. I didn't know I was going to bring that out of you with what I asked you. I didn't know that your times were that tough when you were a little guy, you know?
Yeah.
But, I mean, do you have any happy holiday memories, maybe from when you were older and for Thanksgiving, or?
None that I remember.
No. So,
everything wasn't horrible.
Would it be safe to say that the holidays don't have a great meaning to you?
Yes, it would be very safe to say
really?
that.
Even on something like Christmas? No, nothing?
Do you know, this is how fucked up my mother was, and Gino's gonna get mad at me, but I'm fucking telling the truth. My mother, I celebrated like my first 5 years. You know how when you're a little baby, you have birthdays, you're eating cakes and shit.
Yeah.
But when I had to go to kindergarten, you had to know your age. And first 4 years or 5 maybe, February 2nd was my birthday. But once I had to go to elementary school, they found out it's February 3rd. My mother didn't know when my goddamn birthday is. What the kind of shit is that? And we had parties.
On the wrong day?
February 2nd.
Every year?
Until I was 5 or 6. 4 or 5.
Oh my God.
And you know what it was? The only ones that got to come to the birthday party was my family and my nieces. Because I didn't get to play with the other kids.
Kids, yeah. At what point, I know you said athletics were a big part of your youth. Is that what kind of changed the direction of your life as far as being able to have friends and a social life and
yeah, when I went to high school, everybody started liking me because I was winning every damn thing.
Yeah.
I was winning everything for Hardaway High School. I was winning everything. Everything.
And then everybody loved you.
Yeah. And that's why I'm able to handle wrestling fans, because I saw it in high school. You didn't know who the fuck I was last week. Now you love me?
We love you here. I hope you know that. We have our disputes and we have our arguments sometimes.
Yeah, but that's brothers. Give me a high one.
Right here.
Love you.
You're a good man.
Love you.
That's why no matter what people have said online and all the different nonsense, my response has always been, this is a good man with a good heart and a good soul. He may not be perfect. None of us are. He's going to do things that drive me nuts, and I'm going to want to kill him, as we've seen sometimes.
Wait a minute, you're not perfect?
Far from it. Far from it. I know there's two things in life.
There's two
things in life I've done well.
Let's laugh, because I'm really
Other than
dark.
that,
I just went dark. I need you.
No, I'm just saying right now. There's two things in life I do well. Other than that, I don't do anything well. Is the way I look at it. 2 things I do well out of my whole existence.
Jack off?
No, I know I have been a great father figure to the 2 kids.
That's
and
very
I know
cool.
I know this industry well, and I can contribute to the industry. Other than that, there's a lot of room for improvement for Dan Marati.
Well, everybody, not just Dan
But
Marati.
I'll ask you this, though,
Okay.
since we are talking about Thanksgiving.
Okay.
What do you think Annie enjoys for Thanksgiving?
We started the show out in Denver, Colorado.
So I knew that one would cheer you up. I knew that one would cheer
brother.
you up.
Thank you, man.
I'm sure she's done a
Yeah, I
little.
was going dark, brother.
Annie and Gina have done a little bit of gobble gobble
What
on.
would you have done if somebody killed your brother? You know about the guy
Your circumstances are unique because you were a 3-year-old kid. I mean, what could you really do?
Yeah, but
Roll a ball at them? I mean,
and you know about the we say it's storyline, but you know about the guy behind the
the
ball.
Chattahoochee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that part didn't happen.
Yeah.
You know what happened?
Yeah.
What?
No.
Told him, my nephew Ray helped me.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Okay.
No, I'm definitely not going to say this. I'll tell something I don't know if I told you from when we were down in Tampa for WrestleMania week.
Yeah,
But we'll talk about
we
that.
didn't get to see
something.
each other.
No, I know that, but the whole Chattahoochee story came up, and someone.
Look,
someone with
the man tried to rape me. I don't give a fuck if y'all don't fucking like what I did. The man tried to rape me. How the fuck you gonna be mad at a young goddamn boy that a man is trying to rape, and you gonna call me a murderer?
That's
Fuck's
the
wrong
way
with
I
you?
look at it. If I'll say this: if that man never came back into existence, you did the world a favor. Good riddance. Because a predator like that doesn't do it just once.
It wasn't really a predator. He just loved guys.
But what I'm saying is,
I know what you're saying.
I'm sure it wasn't the first time he ever tried to attack a young kid, and it wouldn't have been the last time if he was successful.
The only reason, because we were sitting in the car, I was buying a bag of weed, right? And, you know, did the exchange, and he grabbed me right here. He goes, "What's that?" And I'm like, "No, because my nephew Ray, and a couple other guys that we were all 14 at the time, they hustled her. He would pay you $40 back then. $40 to blow you.
Fellatio.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And I guess he assumed, me too. And he grabbed me and he goes, "What's that?" And I'm like, no, I ain't like that. And then he got mad because I shoved his hand back. And I got out the car. I did the best I could do. I got out the car. And he got out too and grabbed me.
Well, we don't have to rehash that story over a little hash. But, like I said, I think anyone out there...
It's been a fucked up life.
It hasn't been easy for you. And I try and understand
but you know what?
that.
Once I turned 20, once I started getting into sports, it got pretty good.
It got good?
Yeah.
You went through your dark days and you found the light at the end of the tunnel, which was great success in athletics.
Shit,
but you still have a few scars that have stayed with you.
Oh, boy.
And I respect you for it because you know what?
Where's the liquor store? I got to go get something.
Why you always may not succeed, I know you always mean the best in what you try and do. I don't think you have a malicious bone in your body.
I mean, I can.
You can be malicious.
I don't know if malicious is the right word, but if you're going to fuck with me.
Well, I think everybody has it in them. But what I'm saying
Not
is,
as good as I do.
I don't think you wake up in the morning and say,
No.
I'm going to con this one. I'm going to do this to that one. I don't think you have that in you. I think you're a good human being.
I love everybody watching this. I love everybody. I love everybody. I love everybody. But that's all I'm going to say.
That's all you're going to say. And it makes... And you know what? In my own way, I'm the same way. I know people know me as kind of... I can be grumpy. I can be... when I get angry, and sometimes I can be very vocal about it publicly. But at the end of the day, do I mean well every day when I get up?
Right.
Yes.
Can you
when
hurt
I
people?
say what's that?
Can you hurt people?
Physically?
I've accidentally, because I've been trained, my dad trained me 5 years ago. I actually can hurt people.
Pre-injury?
Without a weapon.
pre-injury, I could handle myself.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm, it's hard for me to walk a lot of the times.
Did you ever fuck somebody up?
I've been in fights.
Well, I know that, but I mean, you fucked somebody up?
Yeah. I've been in a few scraps. But whatever, it is what it is. I think everybody has that boiling point. The way I always said it to the little guys was, you know what? Never start a problem, but if one arises, end the problem. Make sense?
Yep.
That's how, and you know what? I know it drives John Cena Sr. nuts the way I go about things sometimes.
Love you, John.
But I live through that mantra even with the wrestling. I try and look after everyone. I want to extend friendship and goodwill towards everyone in this industry. But when they go out of their way to try and stick it to us or fuck us over, it's problems that I will go out of my way to be very vocal about ending. And some people don't like that. Some people say it should be private business, but when the fans get screwed over, or platforms or events or television shows that fans enjoy get screwed over, I think that's wrong.
You know he's talking about Tony Atlas.
I'm not talking about Tony in particular. There's a list of about 10 of them that have done us wrong over the years. Neidhart?
He did. I gave you the money.
Yeah, okay. And then you took it back.
That was pretty cool how you did that, though.
Like I said, there's a list of about 10. A lot of the fans know who they are.
I got to go to the store because I'm very upset. We told Eddie story.
Marty, I don't know what goes on in your brain. I don't know why you decided to share that. I hope in some way it was a good release.
It kind of was.
And I think that's what's good about these shows. Sometimes
I've said it before, though.
Some of the
that's
guys.
That's why my brother gets mad at me. He goes, "You're grown up. You make your own decisions now." But I fucking had to go through. I love my daddy. My dad is my hero.
Gino, is he still alive?
No.
No.
But Gino is. But I'm worried. And
well, yeah, you mentioned Gino and Mary. Yeah.
Yeah. And
But you can be there for them now. You can't change what happened in the past, but you can be there for them now in the present and in the future. And I think, really, at the end of the day, that's all you can do.
Let me ask, there's cameras on right there, right?
As we wrap up the show.
What would you have done? I didn't do it. Gino said he did it. Oh, shit. They can't go, yeah, they can.
Well, I think, when you're talking about things back in the
1960s.
yeah, I don't think anyone's given it too much worry at this point.
You ever watch, what's it called?
Unsolved Mysteries?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, wrestling fans, we thank you for tuning in. Again, it is the official kickoff to the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. You hear a sad story like Marty's, and you know what? There's so many.
It's not a sad story.
Well, when you were a kid, it wasn't the best of times. There's a lot of kids out there right now that may be in the same boat, and we want to make sure they have a great Christmas.
Yeah, call me and give them a phone number, 702.
No.
Don't do that.
We want to make sure that every kid has a great Christmas out there. We want to make sure Santa Claus has the most updated GPS possible to find every kid's house. And we love to do it every year. Head on over to bostonwrestling.com for complete information. Again, there's great merchandise in the eBay store from superstars of every era that would make great holiday gifts, Christmas gifts. We like to say Christmas, but I know some people are offended by that. But for my partner in crime, the very honest, sincere Marty Jannetty, a guy that's part of our family here in Boston Wrestling.
I shouldn't have told that story.
Well, you're part of our family, and just remember that. I'm Dan Marotti. We'll see you next Thursday on Wrestling Insiders. Again, we hope you had a great holiday. You and yours be well. Enjoy the Christmas season.
Wrestling fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. since July of 2020. Every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Mighty rocking each and every Thursday night. All right, wrestling fans, welcome to another Wrestling Insider's Fabulous Fridays. Probably coming off of a very busy night down in Tampa, Florida, Johnny. We've had guests all week long as part of the cyber edition of the Pallbearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive for the fans that couldn't be with us at Memorial Hall in Melrose back on November the 13th. We're doing it all online. We're producing episodes that you'll be seeing for months with a variety of great stars. And we're going to have a live episode in December. We're still trying to work out the nuts and the bolts so you can be here along with your femme fatale and do the big cyber raffle like we did at Memorial Hall, where I told you that fan was literally blown away that they won every prize in the raffle. I don't know if they thought it was just going to be one or two. They didn't realize they got everything. And I guess it was a nice moment. I wasn't there to see it. But,
me neither.
Well, you were there.
I was out back.
Yeah, well, Dylan wasn't there either, so that's a good thing.
Hope Dylan doesn't show up.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't know how long a trespass order stays intact
Well,
for,
I don't
but maybe
know,
we
but
can get him another one.
I saw he retired 11 years ago from the business, so what the hell's he coming back
Dylan
for?
Cage retired 11 years ago?
Right on his page. We look up Dylan Cage. It says he retired from wrestling 10 years ago, 11 years ago.
What page was that?
I don't know. Look it up on the Google it. Google Dylan Cage.
Oh, I wish he retired from life 11 years ago, but that's a different story for a different time. But I'm sure we've had a great week down in Tampa. I know you've been making your plans to head back to the Sunshine State with some of the smaller Cenas as well.
Yep.
You and I can't stay away from that state.
Nah, it's a beautiful spot. I had my spot in Naples. I probably should have kept it, but 5 minutes from Marco Island, beautiful.
Why'd you get rid of it? Just out of curiosity.
I owned it for almost 5 years, and I only went down there 4 times.
Oh, why?
So,
just
first of
not
all,
enough time.
Nobody to enjoy it with, and
well,
you know,
thinking out all the enjoyment.
My original plan was to go down for 6 months out of the year. Didn't work out. I couldn't do it. You know what?
I could never see you going there for 6 months out of the year.
Now
it's just
I'm
not
looking
in
at
you. In my
going to
opinion.
the Villages, which is a nice spot.
Well, I told you
for
what
the
I
month
thought
of
of the
February.
Villages.
Just go down there for $1,700, get a nice little spot, enjoy myself.
The Villages, it's almost like, well, you talk about Dylan Cage. When I was there, it was almost like a cult, Johnny. There's some odd people in those villages. And I don't know if you know this, and at least you have someone to go with, but it is, truthfully, one of the STD capitals of the United States. So you got that to worry about, too.
Well,
they're getting frisky in the villages.
I understand that. But you know what? I did speak to several people who actually lived in the villages. And they told me, because I said to her, well, you know, STD and all. She said, no. There was a doctor that was in the villages that we didn't like. We asked her to leave. And she's the one that started the STD stuff about the villages. True or not?
She's trying to claim that this doctor, because she was kind of nudged out, created this story out of nowhere. I don't know. Do you think that? I don't know.
Well,
I think a doctor could get into a lot of trouble making up a claim like that.
Well, but you know what? There's only one way for me to find out.
Well, test the waters, I guess.
All I know is my other, you know, my friend Moniz, she won't be able to stay down there for 28 days in February.
Because she's not old enough,
She's
right?
working, no.
Oh, but I thought you had to be a certain age
Well,
to be able
no,
to
you see,
stay.
here's the thing. If you're a senior,
yeah,
and now they're building a place 55 and over, and they're also building a place where you can have children.
Oh.
So they're really expanding. But if I were there, she's my companion. Why couldn't she be there?
Are all the house sizes still the same, or is there a little variety?
Oh, no, there's a big variety. What the hell are we doing? Wrestling.
All right. Well, we both have an affinity for Florida.
I know.
The Sunshine State,
I love
baby,
it.
and we both have an affinity.
And Tampa's special.
Well, the Villages is closer to Orlando.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was probably about maybe 15, 20 minutes from where I used to live down there. So that's central Florida. But anyway, I don't know. We got to get you somewhere good. Forget about these villages. You may drink the Kool-Aid, as JBL would say, and never come back.
Then you come down there, and I'd be worried about being at some hospital. And,
I understand they've got good doctors there, good hospitals there.
They've got Walmart, they've got restaurants, they have a radio station. There's a lot to be said for that odd
Maybe I
little
can work for
place.
the radio station.
Almost sounds like a Stephen King movie, but you know, I
Maybe
don't
we will.
know. I don't
Maybe
know.
I'll write a novel.
Hey, that's one thing you haven't done yet in your very interesting life is write a book, at least that I know of, unless you used a pen name.
I am going to send a script to somebody to do the Passion.
The Passion
of Christ. Yep.
You wrote your own version of the Passion of Christ?
I have a version. Yep.
Or you have your own Passion?
I have a version, and we're going to send it down. And I was told that maybe a studio might be interested. So.
Really? This studio or another one?
No, an actual movie studio.
A movie studio. Now, how did you get involved in rewriting the Passion of the Christ?
I've always been, somebody involved with religion.
I know that, but I mean, what makes yours different?
I guess just the way it's told.
Oh.
I actually, everyone you see, you have this divinity, like, wow, why not portray him as a man, as a person who laughed, who cried, who now realizes that it's time to leave? I think there's a lot of ways to tell it. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, I know that as far as local theater goes, Quincy Rustani has been desperately looking to star in a version of Jesus Christ Superstar. He saw a poster for it at some theater, and he's been actively looking theater by theater to see if there's a production he can join. Now, could you see him in your version of the Passion of the Christ?
Quincy is a very intelligent person.
You know what? There is, again, I think when it comes to all people that you might label special in certain ways, I think they all have unique abilities in some ways that maybe we're not in touch with.
And we might be different. Who knows?
Maybe they're the right ones. Who knows? Well, I know I'm different.
Howard already told me. Ronnie's different. Now I believe it.
What Howard had to listen to in the weeks leading up to that show, I think his ears deserve a gift.
In Melrose Hall, the word is, you're definitely different.
Well, yeah.
Maybe they'll lift your censure.
No, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe Dylan and I will go out in a ball of flames together. Piggott as the guest referee. And then we both stun her. Wouldn't that be a surprise
Moving
finish?
right along.
Wouldn't that be a surprise? But anyway, Johnny, the fans continue to ask, with all these releases, there could be more by the time this even airs.
Yep.
They want to know, who would you like to see back in Boston wrestling? And I thought that was kind of a unique question. I know there are some that I might like to see here more than others. There were some names that were thrown out, some that have been with us before, others that have not. Do you have any, and by God, when you look at the number that WWE has released this year, you could start a fourth and a fifth brand of WWE at this point. But outside of the obvious, the Bray Wyatts and the Strowmans that would be beyond our financial means at this point, within reason, is there anyone that you'd like to see here in Boston wrestling that we haven't seen yet? No one.
You know what? I look at the roster and I look at who they're letting go. I see the people that we have out there. First of all, you want to keep the shows in line so that we don't price them out of the ballpark.
Yes.
So if we try to go after any of these individuals, and you know what? I'll be right up front with you. I probably would drop $5 or $6 grand for a Bray Wyatt because that would be the show.
If he was $5 or $6 grand, I would agree with you.
Yep.
I think you could probably put a 2 in front of that, and that would, if you could get him out of the house, that would probably be the price.
Well, I think he's making a movie right now,
yeah.
So I'm not too sure you're going to see him around.
What do you think of that? As that was actually on one of the topics for tonight's show, is you and I both enjoy a good horror movie.
Yep.
Halloween Horror Nights, of course, we love an awful lot. But
yep.
What do you think of Bray entering the horror genre?
I think it's right up his alley.
Potentially up his alley.
Yep.
We haven't seen it yet.
We don't know yet. We don't know what it's going to be like. But if you look at what he's done, or what he did with WWE, and he wrote a lot of that stuff, you can just see it. It's there. Where it goes from there, I don't know. I hope he never leaves professional wrestling. I hope he brings back who he was and becomes who he was. I think he has a lot more to offer that he wasn't allowed to offer.
And you know, one thing to keep in mind is, right, you got to remember right now that's a young man. You know, you can go make horror movies at any age, the way they make Hollywood movies. I mean, look at, they made Robert De Niro in his mid-70s a badass in that movie The Irishman with some of the special effects. You can make movies at any age. You only have a certain, look at Undertaker, a certain amount of time when you can go out there and perform physically in the ring like that.
I wouldn't rule out trying to grab a Strowman, depending on what they're going to grab him for. I look at some of the talent.
You talking about Boston Wrestling now?
Sure.
Going after making a play for Strowman?
Sure.
Strowman and Brian Malonis. Imagine that in a battle of
that
monsters.
would be awesome. That would be awesome. And then we have to have a female main event, so we have to go out there and find out. Obviously, Mia Jax is not what we're going to bring in.
No,
but I would definitely find
that wouldn't be pick number one on the
I would
draft
go after
list.
maybe Cross's girlfriend out there and bring her
Maybe
in.
Scarlett against Piggott.
Why do I do this? For you fans. That's why I do this.
We have a lot of fun. You know,
I
the
do.
sad
I
thing
do.
is,
But I think that would be what I'd be looking at.
all comedy aside, and you know, and I won't even, you know, out of respect to you, because you know, despite our differences, I do have a lot of respect for you. I won't use the term, but you know, our friend Annie was mentioned an awful lot regularly by the fans because of the Marty Jannetty show. But Piggott is quickly moving up the list of comments. Nothing, you know, vulgar or anything like that, but the fans have taken to the name, if nothing else. I don't know.
They probably don't know who she is.
Well, Quincy said he was going to try and do a repackaged version of Michael Jackson's song Beat It to Piggott. Just Piggott, just Piggott. Da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na.
You see, folks? You see? You see?
Da-na-na-na. Just Piggott, just Piggott.
Oh, my Lord.
Were you singing that to yourself when you got the
Help
handshake?
me, Vince.
All
Help
right.
me.
What about, here's one I'd love to see back here in Boston Wrestling, outside of the
Jay Lethal, why don't you get him back?
Well, I don't know what his limitations may be with AEW.
Probably
With
will never work for
AEW,
you
it
again.
seems like it's different, almost with every guy, what their ability to do independence in third-party appearances.
What level they're at
Some
on
of
the
them are
show.
just able to do like autograph signings.
Yeah.
Some of them, like even Ambrose, has the ability to go out and do independent shows. I guess maybe it's how the individual negotiates their contract. I mentioned Leo Rush had spoken to us about working events, so there's someone under contract to AEW.
But
that
again, nothing against Leo
has
Rush.
the ability.
Nothing against Leo Rush. But I think we need, and Leo could be one, but we need a name. You know, Leo, a lot of people say, oh yeah, I think I know him. Go out there and mention Leo Rush. Who?
He's not going to get the reaction of a Jake Roberts.
That's right. That's exactly right. And so my whole thing is, you know, these are the things that we need to look at. And if you've got a guy like Bushwhacker Luke who's willing to go out there and do a match, you know what? You're smiling. But why not do a Legends or an Oldies match? We probably could find somebody else, you know, that would be willing to go out there and have some fun and not kill anybody. That would be a good draw. Then you get your top draw, your name, and maybe it is a Strowman. Maybe it is a Jay Lethal. But we've got to find somebody, you know, maybe it's a Chris Jericho. And I'm being wise. I'm being wise.
No, I understand what you're trying to say.
So I think that would be it. And again, you know, we were talking about this at Memorial Hall Saturday. There are a lot of people, and you're going to like it or not like it, that were disappointed that there was not a women's match on the card.
I've yet to hear that complaint.
Well, you will hear it from several people that promised me they'd talk to you.
I would absolutely, and here is this, Johnny, and you know me, at the end of the day, it's not about me. But I think at the end of the day, at the same time, you have a genre where the top company continues to present things that the fans don't want. I think if you look back at its most popular times, it was an industry that was not inundated with female professional wrestling. We have had it at times. We main evented in 2002 with the women's match in Wakefield, Massachusetts. The individual that went on to be part of Retribution, Mercedes Martinez against Talia, who went on to become Velvet Sky in TNA.
Great wrestler.
We had the tremendous Awesome Kong with us several times. We've had the lovely Deborah McMichael, Vicky Guerrero, ODB was a lot of fun when she was with us, from what I recall.
Another great sport.
Couple that we won't name. But, it's not, it's all about right place, right time, and to me, moderation.
See?
There's some people that just want to do nothing but just shove the women, shove the women, shove the women, shove the women. If I have a voice in the conversation on how the meal is going to be prepared, that's not going to happen. If we do the same thing that everybody else does, what separates us and makes us different?
Well, but I think you've got a side of the fans that wants to see that, and I think you could work that in. I have no idea what the booking fee for Vicky Guerrero is, no idea what she charges, but that would be great to have her signing as a legend or as a superstar, and to either have her referee that match or manage one of the young ladies that are going into the match.
I don't know about the refereeing part.
Well, but you've got your two or three top draws where you've got, let's use a Strowman against a Malonis. Let's use a Book.
A book?
Luke. I'm thinking of Booker T now. Why? I don't know. Luke against question mark, whoever you think you want to bring in for that. Maybe a Tito Santana.
Arriba.
You could bring in, a Ricky Dragon if he does anything.
Unfortunately, when I had been in touch with him about the November event, he didn't want to travel at this point.
Okay. Then you bring in Vicky Guerrero, Mercedes Martinez, if she's not going to blow us out of the water.
And I wonder if she's back in Connecticut yet.
Well, and then bring in another female superstar, and I've got some contacts with Ed Hunt, who does a lot of the female booking for another promotion. He's got some pretty good young and upcoming females.
It's too bad
from
she
the
doesn't,
New York area.
Too bad she doesn't wrestle anymore, but I would love to see my longtime close personal friend, the exquisite, hopefully Bully Ray won't get upset for me saying that, but Velvet Sky return.
Yep, yep. I think that's how we should build it. I think that would be great. And then we go from there. I mean, I'm taking nothing away from the talent that we had there November 13th. One of the best shows I've worked for Millennium Wrestling Federation. I just think that's the way I would start to book it, because you now have the current, the past, and if you want to use it, the future of women's wrestling, whatever you want. And the Vicky Guerrero, her push with AEW at some point is to start a separate women's division. What a way to go.
Yeah.
What a way to go.
Well, I do have to say, despite my personal feelings towards a lot of the women's wrestling nowadays, I do think the Fabulous Women's Wrestling idea was a good idea. I think for those fans that love the women's wrestling, let them have it. Give it to them. And don't just give them a small dose of it. Give them a huge dose of it. Give them the best that you can find and blow them out of the water with it. That I'm not against. I think, I've said it before, I've said it again, I think you take spots away from deserving male athletes. Either that or you extend shows and make them even longer, and I don't think that's the route to go.
But you now support Charlotte Flair's comment.
What's that now?
You now support Charlotte Flair's comment.
And how is that?
Because you just said men are better than women. And that's not what this is all about.
No, I didn't say that at all.
Wait a minute.
I just think...
Whoa.
Let me finish my thought, and then you can say whatever you want. I look at it as if, should we have to call it MWF Men's Wrestling? I mean, you could almost go that route, but I just think there's a large portion of the fan base that gets up and goes to the bathroom when the women are out at live events, that changes the channel when they're on TV. It's been proven time and time again, if you look at any metric known to mankind, that they have done nothing to enhance, and I'm not saying every product, but the WWE product, since WWE began the heavy push of the female talent. Mickie James was told to her face, the women make us no money. It's a PR thing. And we don't have the financial resources that WWE do to do a nice PR thing like that without it turning into, potentially, a very expensive proposition. Would I love to see a Kong or a Vicky or a Velvet Sky come in from time to time? Certainly. But just to throw it out there to say, hey, we're having women's wrestling and say, all right, you guys got to stay home, that's not me. But I'm only one voice in the conversation. The most important voice in the conversation is right there looking back at us, baby. But now, again, the floor is yours to close the segment up.
Well, no. My thought is that you're supporting what was said because I'm a woman and not a man, and you alluded to that by saying, "Am I going to pass up a young man for a young woman?" I think it's called equal opportunity, and I say that we give them the opportunity. And I will say this: WWE has misused. I don't care what you say. They're doing it for, oh, look, we have women. Stop. What did I say to you way back when we watched the Women's Battle Royal when they brought that 24/7 idiot shit in? And I hate to use these words on the show.
But
they
you mean it when you say it.
They destroyed that match. As hard as those young ladies were working or trying to work, it was ruined.
What about when they brought Nia Jax into the men's rumble? Do you think that ruined that?
That's like bringing China in. You know, their thought was China's as much as anybody, and she proved it. Nia Jax, they were trying to do the same thing. They failed.
In Beth Phoenix, they did it with 1 year.
Phoenix she was the Amazon. You know, but my whole thing is this. I don't
Amazon, I believe, was
the term. That's exactly what she was. And I've had a chance to converse with her backstage an awful lot. My whole thing is very simple, that we bring in what we think the fans want. And the fans were interested in a female match. They were also interested in a midget match.
That would be different and fun.
Yeah, so people were interested in that. So I'm saying if we're truly out there and we really want to blow the roof off on April 16th, let's not say, all right, we'll fill a slot with women, and meanwhile I got to tell two guys to sit home. If you talk to the men in the industry, they don't share your sentiment. They share the fact that we all need a chance to get out there and prove a point. Why not let these women, and I'm going to say, I've worked with a lot of female wrestlers who could probably kick most of these guys' asses.
I agree.
So why not let them go out there and do it? Let's get a good thing out there. Let's bring Guerrero out if we have to. Let's bring out, no, you can't tell me, and I worked at the very beginning with Miss Martinez when she started. She's a force to be reckoned with. And they wouldn't have had her at NXT working with all these young ladies if she wasn't capable of holding her own weight. And we bring in another wrestler from maybe Brooklyn, Philadelphia, Connecticut.
They're out there. I mean, it's a...
And we let it go, and have some fun. And, I think it'll pay off.
And I think I'm going to keep this going a little bit just because I think it's interesting conversation. If we go over, we go over.
We're over.
Well, that's fine. I think why interrupt good conversation?
I agree.
You want to talk about equal opportunity then? Okay. Why just limit it to one match then? Why isn't it half the card women and half the card men? So it's truly an equal opportunity.
Because I think what you're trying to do as a promoter, and I would try to do as a promoter, I'm trying to present an interesting show. Mm-hmm. So, main event, old school, women's match, midgets match, bing, bing, bing. It's
the way you're talking, it's almost like they're being presented as a spectacle as opposed to having an equal opportunity.
Well, let me ask you a question. Isn't professional wrestling a spectacle? Isn't it kind of like the Gladiator? Isn't it where we try to get the crowd to get to their feet, to get involved in a situation? Sure. And so,
absolutely.
And so, why would I want to present only spaghetti when we have other forms of pasta that we can bring out that are just as good? So I'm saying to you that maybe we need to mix it up a little bit. I'm not saying that every show needs to have it. I'm saying that perhaps it's time that we think about it. I mean, and I can't disagree totally. We don't have a women's championship belt. We don't have a women's tag team championship belt. So perhaps you're saying is, what's the reason? The reason is that these young women are as talented as these young men. These young women work their asses off as hard as these young men. I'm saying what you're saying. In another way, everybody deserves the opportunity. Why are we limiting it? Everybody deserves an opportunity.
I look at it like this. If you want equal opportunity for them, fine. It should be half the show men, half the show women, or it should be an event of all men and an event of all women.
No,
that's equal to me.
No,
one women's match on a show with 8 or 9 matches is not equal to me.
It's equality. It's saying if you can.
It's not though. It's not equal.
All right. So, but 2 women's matches are
That's
there. That's
still not equal.
If it's an equitable. All I'm saying to you is that people come to a show to be entertained, to see different styles, to see different things. You know, fans, why don't you
tell us?
Let me know
We're
what you
open-minded
want.
people.
Am I out to lunch? Shouldn't we have women on the card, midgets on the card? Shouldn't we mix it up and get out there and make it an all-inclusive show? That's like saying that we're not going to have any lightweights out there. You know, there are guys out there that I work with and worked on that show. You look at it and say, wow, he's awful skinny to be out there and be a pro wrestler. We had a young man out there from a school, from one of the guys that was running the show. One person said to me, how are 12-year-olds allowed to wrestle? Yeah, but you had him out there, didn't you?
No, and I didn't want to interrupt you, but you're not necessarily wrong about that either. I mean, look at this. We had some guys that were really big, and we had some guys out there where you'd never think they were pro wrestlers. So I will concur with you on that.
So let's do this. Why don't we look at the April 16th show? And I'll tell you what, I don't have a lot of money. I have tons of money.
Oh, all right. You sleep on a mattress.
I sleep on a mattress full of money.
There's not even a mattress.
So let's
see, just cash.
If the fans want it, let's see what we can put together for a women's match. I have no idea what Guerrero charges. I'm
trying to think of what the best way to gouge it would be. Maybe put on, and this may be something I bother you about in the other room, but maybe there's a way we could create a poll that lasts for as opposed to just one night, let it run for a few weeks.
I agree.
And see if the fans yay or nay.
Howard's a genius at that, so let's
Howard
do that.
knows some things that would amaze you.
So why don't we put that out there?
And I'm just talking about at the studio, not what he does at home.
We've got over 500,000 viewers, so let's...
A month, yeah.
Yeah, but so what?
Not a week.
No, but they're there.
Yeah.
So why don't we let it last a month? Forget about a week. Let's let it go out there and be hit by the multitudes.
Well, you know, as the tickets are going on sale now, what if we maybe tried to do something when Howard and I collaborate, maybe between now and the end of the year, and see what the fans think.
Let's go for it.
And we'll go with what because again, at the end of the day, it's not about me, not about you, it's about you. It's what you guys like.
I think what you're saying...
And I think I look at the perfect example. Give divas a chance. That week on Raw, they introduced Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha Banks. Almost 4.5 million people tuned into Raw. Now about 2/3 of that audience is gone. I think they gave them too much of a chance. My opinion.
I wouldn't say that.
And it's not the only reason why the fans have left in flux.
Thank you.
But I think it's a big reason why they've left in flux.
I disagree.
Because I don't know of anyone that I know outside of the industry that is all that eager to see them.
Well,
but you know what, again, we're going to try and create some kind of an online platform, whether it be a poll, however we can do it. I want to insert it on every one of the talk shows. I want to put it up on the Facebooks, the Twitters. I want to reach the ticket buying fans. We can email it to them and let us know what they want to see. And if they tell me they want it, I'm all for it.
Okay.
I'm all for what'll ever get the most fans to come and enjoy it.
All right, let's do it.
You've heard it.
And I just want to say, if there's any female performers out there, and you're interested in coming into MWF, for me, somehow get me a photo, a resume, whatever. I'm looking for top talent. And please don't take this the wrong way, men or women. I don't want anybody coming to me saying, oh, I've been 6 months at Bo Douglas's school, 6 months at Stiff Mike's school. I want somebody who's out there that can wrestle.
A pro.
But I want a wrestler.
Not a trainee.
I want somebody that can help me tell my story. I don't want you to telegraph the moves, which I saw on a professional show. Like, okay, bang, oh, I'm down, oh, we're going to do that flip thing. No, I'm looking for somebody that can be consistent. If you really want to work, if you really want to come out there and help me to prove that female wrestlers have what he says we don't, Let's get out there and prove our point. I don't care if you send it to bostonwrestling.com. I don't care if you send it to me directly at my email. I'm pretty easy to find out there. Just Google John Cena Sr. You'll find the email. If not, go to my JP website. It's there. Send it over. I want to prove a point, and I want you, the female wrestlers, future stars of this business in the female industry, to help me prove it. Let's do it.
You can see him.
That's the difference between me and my son. You can see me, but you can't see him.
All right, wrestling fans, in this supersized segment, we're going to take a brief timeout. Get your tickets now. VIP packages and tickets are on sale now to our Back to the 80s endeavor at MWF Soul Survivor 10, Saturday night, April the 16th at Memorial Hall in Melrose. And all month long through the big day, we're going to help Santa Claus update his GPS to find every kid on his list. The Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. We'll be back on the flip side.
Wrestling fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night.
Hits different live with WWE Super Show. Don't miss an epic main event.
Drew McIntyre and Kofi Kingston, King Woods, The New Day, Roman Reigns, and the Usos in a 6-man tag team match.
Will the new arrivals on the Blue Brand disrupt the dominance of the Bloodline? It's WWE Super Show in Boston Sunday, January 9th. Tickets and Superstar Experience packages on sale now.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marotti.
And I'm Mr. USA WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
The road to WrestleMania has begun. Wrestling fans are looking to add to their man caves. You got to see what we have in the eBay store. Check it out.
Support Wrestling Insiders and keep wrestling legends working on eBay. At Survivor Series, it was champion versus champion as WWE Champion Drew McIntyre battled Universal Champion Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman. Get this 11x14 poster autographed by all three men. Limited edition, number 42 of only 50, with authentication hologram on the back of the poster itself. Comes with a mystery autographed 8x10 photo and an on-air shout-out from WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas on Wrestling Insiders at your house. Get it now. Wrestling fans, especially here in the Boston area, we want to thank our great friends at Red Rose for their support for all of our charitable endeavors and programming efforts. Red Rose is 2 years young and extremely thankful for all the support they've had from our neighbors here in Melrose and beyond for an amazing first 2 years. Red Rose thanks Melrose and all of the first responders who have fought the good fight and have never given up hope during these unprecedented times. We did it together. Follow Red Rose on Facebook for their anniversary special, facebook.com/Red Rose Melrose. You'll be glad you did. Open until 2 a.m. Red Rose will give you fresh, piping hot, mouth-watering food that'll put an ear-to-ear smile on even the toughest critic's face. Check out their full menu online at redrosema.com or give them a call, 781-620-1889.
All right, wrestling fans, Johnny and I had our own battle of the sexes. Hopefully you had a chance, no matter what your gender is, to head on over to bostonwrestling.com, get all the inside scoops on our trip that continues in the Sunshine State through Sunday with all the great guests. Great seeing Jerry Briscoe, Dutch Mantell, Bushwhacker Luke, Tatanka, all the others, more to come. And on top of that, Soul Survivor 10, our marquee event, baby. It's like the Olympics. It doesn't even have to happen every year. We go back to the 80s with Soul Survivor 10, a Saturday night, April the 16th at Memorial Hall in Melrose. Again, holiday price, discount VIP packages and tickets
On sale now at bostonwrestling.com. I'm a little sad, and I knock on wood, I hope it's not the case, but it doesn't look like Todd Hansen, Viking Raider Ivar, will have a chance to go 10-0 at Soul Survivor, because hopefully he's still going to be under contract to WWE. I would be heartbroken if he was going to be there with us. You know what I mean? I want him in WWE as much as I'd like to see him with us.
There are a lot of our friends that we want to see in WWE. However, the way the machete is going now, it's anybody's guess.
It could be, and I'd hate to see it happen. But, Johnny, so many things on this list, we're running out of time. Maybe some short responses to you. Roman Reigns awarded the Chris Gracious Celebrity Award for playing a pivotal role in furthering the Make-A-Wish mission. Is Roman turning into the next John? I know he's probably got several hundred wishes more to grant to even come close, but I think that says a lot about Roman.
I think Roman's doing what any good superstar would do, and getting out there and helping these young men and women.
Sabu has retired. He's leaving the door open in case he's ever able to have a match with Brock Lesnar. It's funny, if you watched Wrestling Insider's Extreme a couple of weeks ago, Kevin Sullivan and I spoke of Sabu, the end of his career, and how it's probably going to be a very painful end of life. Thoughts quickly on Sabu retiring?
I think it's in his best interest. His body has taken a lot of bumps and bruises. We know when it's time, and he knows it's time.
Tomorrow night is the first NXT TakeOver after NXT 2.0 was rebranded. NXT TakeOvers were known as having some of the most exceptionally athletic events you could possibly see. It'll be on WWE Network on Peacock, but with this new coat of paint they've slapped on NXT with 2.0, with War Games, can the fans expect the same quality that they've received in the past?
One can only find out by watching.
All right. Who would you like to see back at an MWF ring, Johnny? How about fans have suggested Mike Bennett? High-quality individual from the Northeast,
With
married
Maria
the lovely
Grills.
Maria.
Yep.
Matt Taven competed here in the MWF in the past. Would you like to see him?
Not bad.
Not bad? All right.
I remember him on the show.
On the show?
Yep.
Okay, well,
The wrestling.
He was on several of our events, not just once.
No, I mean the TV show.
Oni
Maven.
Lorcan, the former Biff Busick.
Yep.
You'd like to see him back?
Yep.
Flip Gordon. Now, if Ring of Honor is sayonara, baby, Flip is someone that I think we actually were going to have him wrestle Leo Rush before Leo suffered a serious concussion. And I think Flip wound up taking on AG Anthony Green instead. Would you like to see Flip back in the MWF now that he's a little more seasoned?
Maybe.
EC3, the former nephew of Dixie Carter, a man that WWE, I think, really missed the boat on, that could be main eventing one of their shows right now instead of perhaps headed to the unemployment line with Ring of Honor. Would you like to see someone like EC3 in the MWF?
I work with EC3. I'd love to see him in an MWF show.
What about a guy that I thought was going places in WWE? He definitely was a main eventer in NXT. In WWE, could he have ever gone that far? I don't know, but I think he certainly could have been upper mid-card if nothing else. Tyler Breeze.
I like Tyler Breeze.
I love that, especially when he had the stick and the phone. And
I think we should bring him back.
Great heel heat.
I think we should bring him back.
What about Bo Dallas, the brother of Bray Wyatt, a guy that I never thought got his just due in WWE? I think if you went to the super shows, the non-televised events, if you get a chance to actually watch him work without the television cameras on and nonsense skits and promos, outstanding, underrated professional wrestler.
Definitely bring him back.
All right. Well, we never had him.
Get him in.
And last but not least, Fandango. Do you think
Good
the fans would like to dance with Fandango?
Well, the only thing I'm going to say is this. Fandango doesn't do the dance gimmick anymore.
No dancing.
He's down, dirty, and mean. He's a professional wrestler to be reckoned with. I say, bring him back. Let's see the change.
Maybe Piggott would like to get down and dirty with him.
Oh, here we go.
Could you see her doing that?
Maybe Monique might do that. You never know. You never know.
All right, let's look into that. We lost former WCW Tag Team Champion Judy Bagwell, mother of Marcus Alexander.
Bagwell.
You talk about the worst of WCW, putting Judy Bagwell in wrestling scenarios ranks right up there, but sad to see the lady pass away.
May she rest in peace.
She unfortunately caused that man a lot of trouble. I remember when I was there during my lengthy run with WWF, was the beginning of the invasion, and Judy was calling Jim Ross on the phone
requesting limousines for her son, and a host of other things that I don't think helped Buff in his run that was shorter than mine. I think he was there about 3 weeks.
Wow.
Buff didn't have the stuff for WWE. I don't know how else to put it.
Wow.
But wrestling fans, we know that you have the stuff to be with us Saturday night, April the 16th, when MWF Soul Survivor 10 goes back to the 80s. Again, Memorial Hall, Melrose, Massachusetts, April 16th is going to be a night of history. The question is, how many, if any, of these lovely ladies that John Cena Sr. is talking about are going to be competing in the ring? We're going to find out a way to offer a poll to you. We may even have a link in the description box below by the time we edit this. Again, the great Howard Miller and I are going to collaborate. And again, all month long, now through the big day, we're going to be working around the clock like Santa's elves to update Santa Claus's GPS as we speak. We're down in the Sunshine State, taping great episodes of Wrestling Insider Special Edition with a plethora of superstars and legends. Again, as we honor this guy, the late, great Paul Bearer. He started this toy drive with myself, John Cena Sr., and others back in 2012. We're going to have live episodes. We're going to have cyber autograph signings, and we're going to plan some kind of, and I'm going to use the C word, Johnny, we're going to have some kind of a Christmas party later in December live, and we're going to do one of those winner-takes-all raffles, jackpots, where one fan anywhere, we'll say in the United States because of the shipping costs, can win this jackpot, Johnny. And at Memorial Hall, the fan was blown away. Not Din fan, but the fan that won the raffle. And we're going to do it again online, too, for fans anywhere in the United States to be able to win this giant jackpot. So for old Johnny Cash himself, I'm still Dan Marotti, unfortunately. Continue to follow us on social media and YouTube. I'm sure we're going to have live episodes all weekend long for the Sunshine State. Until we speak again, at least for Wrestling Insider's Fabulous Fridays, be healthy, be well. Good night from Boston.
Fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night. All right, wrestling fans, another interesting week here on Wrestling Insider's Week in Review. Hope you enjoyed those 4 full shoots, different points of view, different points and eras of professional wrestling, and we'll do it all over again next week. Again, we're hoping to have Just Incredible, the former ECW World Champion, back in studio soon to discuss his memories and experiences in the world of Extreme. And again, we need all the help we can get for the Marty Jannetty Indiegogo campaign. You can find the link if you're watching live in the premiere chat or after the fact in the description box below. Have some great rewards and perks for those that help keep the Party with Marty alive every Thursday night at 10 p.m. as of now. The final episode we have with Marty will air this Thursday night at 10 p.m. So keep that in mind. Again, Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive, not what we expected it to turn into, as we thought we were Tampa-bound Tuesday night to see Bushwhacker Luke, Tatanka, Jerry Briscoe, Dutch Mantel, and so many more. Unscrupulous, untrustworthy people, or person, I should say, ruined that. Again, you can find more information on that in the archives on the YouTube channel. Other than that, we hope you had a happy, healthy holiday weekend. Enjoyed an extra piece of pie. Have a little newt like Quincy Rustani. We will be back live tomorrow night for Survivor Series 1992. We'll be doing a watch-along, myself, Charlie Wilson, and John C. Manicus Riley in the control booth. We always have a lot of fun with that. We want to keep those live specials going. Again, we need the Super Chats, the Venmos, the PayPals. It isn't free to turn the lights on. And you know what? People put a lot of time into this. They deserve a little TLC, too. The holiday season is here. The Super Chat button is open for business. Show us a little bit of love for giving you hours of free entertainment. Imagine if everyone watching donated $1. It'd be tremendous. But anyway, nonetheless, we love having you here no matter what you can or cannot do. For everyone here involved with Boston Wrestling Sports, hope you had a happy holiday and a great kickoff to Christmas time. We use the C word here in Boston Wrestling. If you don't celebrate it, that's cool too. Whatever your holiday may be in December, if you even have one. We hope you enjoy the spirit of the season when everybody's a little kinder, when everybody's a little nicer. I wish there was a way to translate that into regular life, but that's a different story for a different time. Had fun in the Big Apple. I may be back again this week, dear Lord. So again, be well, be healthy. Merry Christmas. Good night from Boston. Thank you for joining us. Please give the video a big thumbs up, leave us a comment, and subscribe to the channel to enjoy more great content. Don't forget, you can help keep wrestling legends working. Check out our eBay store and join the Boston Wrestling family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling so we can produce more in-depth shoot interviews.